Hi guys and welcome back to VCT Game Changers Southeast Asia Series FSL Circuit, the league that's all about growing the competitive women's gaming scene and seeing how women in esports change the game. It's us, your host Genevieve Richie Lee, your caster Tanya May, and of course, once again, this FSL Overtime is brought to you by our sponsor Intel and supported by our official media partner Yahoo. Tanya, how are we feeling today? Yeah, it was just absolutely insane just playing out that full 5 map series and coming down to that very last clutch round to end that Breeze 11-13, the Jet Ultimate from Crollo being popped as well. Just absolutely insane stuff. Guys, if you're just joining us here right now, I 10/10 recommend that you check out that VOD. But yeah, what a best of 5, and we're not even done with the action for the rest of today. We're only halfway through. We've got a second best of 5 series coming up for all of you out there. It's going to be Hashira versus AEOSS Rise, Battle of the Philippine Squads. What do we think, Tanya?
Well, you have to give it to Hashira, right? Because we've seen this name. They've always been all the opens. And I think they started their run in FSL Open 4. But
Mm-hmm.
all of these are CS:GO veterans. 4 out of 5, I think, have been playing together for a very long time, and so just going off the bat, you just feel like Hashira has the upper hand here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, talking more about the Hashira squad, they did only join FSL from Open 4 onwards. However, they've managed to get consistently pretty high placings, generally at least like top 8 at least. They've had a couple of 5th and 6th finish placings as well. And as you mentioned, 4 of the squad teammates from CSGO. Also, I believe 4 out of the 5 of these girls are students as well, which just makes it mind-blowing how they're juggling going to
Yeah.
school along with scrimming that much all the time. I don't even get it. I guess that, natural talent brings you a long way, but they're also one of the few teams in the tournament that do play Breeze, so I'm pretty excited to see that being picked up later as well.
Yeah, they look really good on Breeze yesterday. If you take a look at the brackets, they did go up against Wildfire Sphinx, managed to edge them out 2-1. And Breeze was really the last map that they played on, and they looked great on it. What I am surprised is that they did not choose Breeze as their first map. I think it's going to come in map 4 in the selection
Mm-hmm.
here. So I guess it's in a way like, if things don't go so well, at least they have some backup because Breeze is the 4th map.
Yep, and taking a look at the brackets on the screen, as you can see over in the upper bracket, our cat Aresta beating out Big Scythe 3-2 just now to qualify in through the upper bracket finals. And since for FSL Overtime this time around, the top 3 teams make it through, what it means is that once you qualify into the finals, you're automatically qualified to October's FSL Elite. Meanwhile, Big Scythe will drop down to the lower bracket. They do still have a chance to grab that last 3rd spot through from FSL Overtime by winning a best of 3 and then a best of 5 tomorrow. So definitely going to be an uphill battle for them, but not entirely impossible, especially considering how close the last series was.
Absolutely, but of course, being in the lower bracket means you have to play more games.
Mm-hmm.
And today already felt really, really exhausting. I hope both of the teams do get enough rest in preparation for tomorrow.
Yep, for sure. Also, guys, if you're watching us over on either of the English streams, I think this is twitch.tv/FSL, and then also on Facebook, FSL FPS, we do have a couple of other streams available. There's a Thai stream, there's a Bahasa stream to catch the rest of the games going on in the other brackets on Twitch as well as on YouTube. So definitely do take a look at that one. I believe all the maps have already been picked. It's going to be Haven, Ascent, Icebox for the first 3, as well as Breeze and Split for that map 4 and map 5 if the series goes to all 5 maps. Tanya, real quick, what's your predictions? Who's going to take it today?
I think Haven is going to be very interesting because if you just take
Uh-huh.
a look at the histories of both teams, AEOSS Rise has a 100% win rate on this map. They've only played it twice in their tournament history, really, and they've won on both. So that's pretty encouraging. On the other hand, Hashira don't look as good on Haven. I think it's one of their lowest winning maps. just taking a look, it's actually 0%. They don't really show a lot on this. I think they've only played it once. So you kind of expect this to go AEOSS Arise way because it seems like they're very comfortable on this. Now, what I am surprised is that when Hashira chose to select on the second map, they chose Ascent, which is actually the map that they dropped against Wildfire Sphinx yesterday.
So, real quick, give me a number. What are your predictions, Tanya? I'll go first. I'm gonna say 3-1. 3-1 to Hashira.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Yeah. I was about to say that as well, but you have to think like we have not seen AEOSS at all. So who knows what surprises they'll bring, right?
I'm super excited, and it looks like we agree on something. That something is that it's going to be an absolute banger of a series. And here, joining Tanya to bring you all the action for the next couple of maps is Gian Illustrato. Lady and gentlemen, all ears on you.
Thanks,
Hey!
Ray. I'm a little bit flustered by that. Oh. Wait, hello? Am I getting through? Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. A little bit of a technical hiccup, but yeah, thank you again for that wonderful introduction, Ray Richu. Always good to see always good to see you and everybody here at FSL. We are at the overtime right now, and it's the second best of 5 that we are at today. After what a banger of the first one. How are you even going to follow that series up? Tanya, you and I were watching in the back lines as that was unfolding. That last series was absolutely insane. But I think the series, this upcoming one, might just be a little bit more of the same. You pointed out a couple of really interesting things about the map selection. You think that the map selection actually doesn't go in Hashira's way here. And personally speaking, I think I might agree with you, especially the first. Especially since we're hitting Ascent number 2. Do you think that we might see an upset? You think that Hashira might not make it through in this one?
It's possible. I mean, it's quite curious, right? Like yesterday, you lose on Ascent to Wildfire Sphinx. It was the only map that they dropped, and then suddenly today they're like, you know what? Maybe we get experience from that. Maybe they learned something. Maybe they have their confidence now, and they're gonna change up their strategies. So it's quite curious. I really, really thought they were gonna pick Breeze because they look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see Breeze at some point down the line, right? I think that was the fourth map.
Yeah, fourth map.
I think it was. Well, I'll double check that. There, a lot of information being processed, but yeah, I am really surprised to see that we're going to Ascent second here. It's definitely a map that Hashira look like they need a lot of work on, but we are going into the game already. We're actually ready with the agent select, and so here we are. We're finding ourselves on Haven. This is a map that Hashira are very confident on. They're very comfortable on it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they take a quick victory here on Ascent. Excuse me, on Haven.
Haven, yeah. Well, AEOSS, I think this was AEOS's map pick as well, and just looking at the stats, they seem to have a 100% win rate right here. I also think it is very curious that they pick defense and attackers. In fact, the entire series, we're going to see both teams start out on the same. We're going to see AEOSS on defense and Hashira on attack.
Yeah, for like the entirety of our series, I think one of our producers pointed it out. Just the entire series, it's Hashira on the attacking side first, and this is gonna make for an interesting series because, first of all, Hashira, their attack has been known to be very much lethal, very do or die. Like they'll go in, and they'll just go full ham, straight up, and they'll let Kachao do the entering, and she usually gets at least 1 or 2. So we'll see how that works, and the AEE, excuse me, can actually be the one to take it. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one to call here, but let's take a little bit of a look at the lineup. More or less a mirror matchup with the exception of the controllers. We have an Omen still in the works, but an Astra on the other side.
Yeah, Hashira, one of the few teams here in the FSL to really pick up that Astra. Of course, we saw Alter Ego Celeste do it in the finals, and it was something new. But Hashira, I think all along has been leaning on this Astra pick, and I feel like they Plucky as well. Yesterday showing up very big on this Astra, clutching rounds for her team. So
yeah, a lot of it was I think I agree with you because a lot of the big plays from yesterday did come from the controllers. I mean, Plucky with a lot of great rounds, Scherzinho with a couple of great clutches as well. But We'll linger on that later on as we do head on over to the seaside where most of the action is taking place. Jeff keeps getting a trade-off onto Alexi, followed up by Shirazi. And that's Minji done and removed from the equation. A lot of the post-plant prowess now removed from the picture here for Hashira, as they do only have a couple of duelists and a controller left. Now from the flank, that's Capricious. She's doing a little bit of work here alongside Ali. They're getting in closer and closer, waiting for the right time to strike, as the rest of the members here from AEOSS Arise will be working from that CT spawn. And with time ticking, they do have a little bit of room for error, a little bit of wiggle room here, but they do need to decide fast. Nobody pushing on them. That's the flash. That's going to be the signal to go here. And with Japeeps in an awkward position, she's not going to be able to get anything done after the perfectly timed recon and flash play from AEOSS Arise. Just a great retake from them overall.
Yeah, they waited for utility to come out. I think they were waiting for some cooldowns, and then it felt like, they were gonna pounce, and that they were gonna pounce in those few moments, and they did. It was a very good coordination from them as well. I mean, we have not seen them at all on these streams, because I believe they only made it through groups, haven't really made it to the playoffs in the past few FSLs, but here they are, and it's really exciting to see what they can bring.
I agree. Now, we go into the anti-eco round, and it's going to be 5 Spectres here. Hashira, they haven't really gotten the start that they need, but with that plant, it allowed the opportunity for a force buy. They're not going to go for it, but instead they're going to go for this like quick in and out play, and it brings Kachao to 1 HP.
Wow, that was
How's
close.
she even alive? Oh, dash out right there. Alexi finds a quick double, no trades. Especially when you got the flank number right there from Capricious. Is able to shut down all the presence right here. The post plant is squashed before it even gets started. And this is a very good round, a very clean round from AEOSS Arise. Hashira now, balls in their court, as they do have all the rifles and everything they want and more.
Yeah, honestly, for Hashira, if you look on them on attack yesterday, they dropped the first 4 rounds, I believe, on the first map, and then they went on ascent, and they were down 0 and 6 to Wildfire Sphinx. So it seems like the trend is continuing, because Hashira, even though they got the plan down the first time around, and they lost the eco round, but it's starting to look the same way. They're not really winning on these attack rounds in the beginning.
Agree, and quick pick off right there. Ali goes down to Japeeps as she swings out from sewers. Mid presence now being controlled here by Alexi as she goes up and tries to get a little bit of an advanced position. Maybe we'll be able to catch 1 or 2 off guard. A lot of anti-flank measures just to make sure this doesn't happen, though. There's already an alarm bot.
The pace.
Exactly. They have. Oh my! Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Alexi, she just gets checked and tapped away right there by Key. That's a 2-person advantage already from Hashira as they now barrel their way down towards the seaside. Only 1 player here, and that's going to be Callus. Even the turret is smoked off and goes down so quick. I don't know how this is going to happen, but all 3 remaining members of AEOSS Arise, they're going to be working here towards this backside.
But it is a better post-plant position, because we see Japeeps there peeking through the window, so not everyone is on site.
They even have a player towards long just in case things start to go wrong. And it's fairly a straightforward hold here onto that seaside. And it's honestly looking like Hashira, they've found some good stride. This is what they needed to get back into this map. They've only really lost 2. And it's not so bad here for an anti-eco round. Not so bad for a bonus round. So, honestly, both teams going to be happy with that outcome. They did do a little bit of damage. Problem is, however, Kachao will only be on a Spectre. Might not be too happy with that as she does try and get those entries in. But if she can get in close range, like she normally does, then this might be a very good opportunity for Hashira to level the playing field and get us to 2-2.
I feel like for Kachao as a player, watching her throughout all these maps and rounds, she tends to ramp up in the middle of it. She doesn't really always open, with the best headshots or anything like that. But once she gets going, that's where really the momentum flows in Hashira's way.
Yeah, much like the late into the game when we go into the late stages of the game where she Kachao pulls out these ridiculous crazy plays like we
Yeah.
saw with her on that raise and then the flying one tap headshot. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
incredible stuff. It looks like Hashira, again, gonna play it slow. They have players on all sides of the map, really, trying to get information. And so far, utilities as well not being used.
Yeah.
I think we only
So it's
saw
great
recon
discipline.
dart.
So it's great discipline here for AEOSS Arise. They are holding on to their utility, not throwing meaningless utility out, but Hashira will now try to make an attempt here towards that A site. Gonna be a quick couple of kills already. Peeps winning a double. 2 entries already for her, and that secures them that A site, and now it's a 4v3. They have much time on their hands, as that's gonna be another kill here for Key, managing to catch off Shirazi on the lurk here, and this 2v4 here might be a save call already.
Yeah, 3v2. Good post plant positions by Hashira. I believe they should be able to get this, and they do, because they know where she was up there in the window. Managed to pull the jet in, but didn't quite get the shots up. Didn't quite know where she was, even though the star did connect. And it looks like this slow pace is really working out for Hashira, and it's something great to see because in FSL Open 6, when they dropped to Renata's White, they got swept 0-2. They didn't look very good on attack, but then yesterday it looked like they definitely improved. They know how to coordinate a lot better. They're doing this slower pace, which is working out for them.
Yeah, this is certainly an aspect of Hashira's playstyle that they are developing. I mean, a lot of the time what they go with and what works for them is those fast impact plays that they have, but this is a little bit of a different story right now as they're learning to play a little bit slower, a little more tactical, a little bit more slower pace and gain map control. But right now they're losing that map control. As currently, if you look towards C Long, they actually already have a sort of a quasi crossfire setup here, as there are 2 players hold up onto that C site. They've even managed to sneak out 1 player close, and that's Ali. She's holding this tight angle, might not be spotted. Will Hashira even check this corner? Doesn't look like it right now. That's gonna be it. The Whites, oh, she misses the opportunity. The frenzy being a little bit difficult to handle in that spot. Shirazi will get the kill, however, onto Key, and that's gonna be another find here by Capricious with the Spectre, but Plucky makes it even more difficult as Caligus goes down in this 1v3. Capricious does have the ultimate, does have Empress. Will she use it? Doesn't get the kill onto Plucky, and yet again Plucky with another triple kill. And you said this at the very start of the game. The controllers here in not just Hashira, but I think in FSL have really been stepping up. And it's no longer the story of the duelist anymore, like the time and time again story. But we're seeing a lot of these controllers being, I'd say, highlight players for their team.
Yeah, Plucky was on top of the leaderboard yesterday, and now she's just behind Japeeps. So they're really working out. It's no longer, hey, the duelists see each other, we see who gets a hit shot off first and opens up for the team. Instead, we are now seeing a much slower pace where stars go down, smokes are there, and they go in. It's textbook, it's coordination, and they just attack the site really cleanly. So if Hashira manages to keep this up, they will be able to pull away with a lead because their economy is pretty good right now.
Well, it is already 3 players holding on to site here, as it is going to be backside that they're looking for. I mean, it's going to be a rotation from backside that they actually have done for AEOSS Arise. It's not too much information garnered, as now the rotation comes in. Basically what happens here is Hashira, they make sure nobody pushes them, make sure that nobody tries to get a little too cheeky. Then they decide a site, and then they go on.
Yeah, the turrets and the alarm boards all there. So far, they've been choosing to go to A or C. Haven't really quite committed to B. I mean, really for the side of AEOSS as well, they also have not been pushing out on the defense, and they've been losing on the defense here because Hashira manages to get the peak on them and put their utility down. So also willing to see how different they would try to play out this defense rounds. Maybe pushing out might be an option if they find themselves here on the losing end.
Well, that's going to be it as they go for the 4v2 retake. I think it might even be worth it to just never mind. I was gonna say save call, but with a pick off like that, it's quite probable that they go for this retake right now. An immediate pick makes it very likely that they try. But with low HP onto AEOSS, it's gonna be quite tough here. They got Alexi pushing in from spawn. He's able to dash through, clearing the backside. It's unable to get anything done because the swing out timely from Japeeps, and this is going to be Hashira with yet again another round, and they're able to bolster and really build up their economy from these clean rounds that they've been putting up.
We see here Plucky already has the ultimate, the divide, whether she's going to be using that for the next round. And still, the question is for AEOSS, how are they going to adapt? Because everyone basically has been sitting across all the 3 sides. No one pushes out. They don't really use that much utility either, which is good, which helps them with the post plan. But if they just sit there and let Hashira take over the side, it hasn't been working out. So already we see C here. Will these 2 players be pushing out, or will they just be sitting there waiting for the time to tick?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit gonna be tough here as they only have upgraded pistols for the most part. Alexi could get the drop onto Plucky.
Oh.
Plucky was probably.
No charges.
I am willing to bet that Plucky was looking at the minimap and making calls 13. And she's just like, oh, is that what I think it is?
With the double swing, and that means she gets an upgrade.
Yep, definitely does, but Japeeps and Kachao, they'll take A site instead. You want to hit C, we'll take A. And that's already a lot of great progress, and again from Hashira. Hunter's Fury, a little bit too late, I think. It's not really going to find anyone.
Standing ahead.
Could still make it work, though, 3v4, but of course, Alexi, looks like she gave the gun over. We've still got to stick with that Sheriff.
Yeah, they got Sheriff, and it's happening right now. They actually get 1 kill, but if they can manage to get a couple more, then in fact they do. They managed to make it happen. 1v1, fortunately Key in the right spot, catches Shirazi, switching over the guns, but that round should have never been that close. AEOSS Arise gets 4 kills on top of it, and just makes Hashira's life so difficult, forcing a lot of rebuys.
Yeah, but it does mean that they do have guns now. They do have the rifles. And for the first time in all these rounds, we saw them push up to C, the double swing, got a great pick on Plucky, because it means that your controller is down, they don't have those smokes, right, that they could secure from A. And Plucky was so integral for Hashira to win on A side and get the plan secured. So great adaptation by AEOSS. We're gonna have to see whether they try and do that again, and looks like both of them spot out each other. They know once again Plucky is looking at C.
They have to.
Shots just being fired.
Yeah, just a couple of inquisitive pushes, a little bit of a couple of shots, a little bit more curious than they are declaratory. They will go into yet again the standard formation that Hashira is so happy to play. And a team that has, I'd say, more experience, like let's say Hashira, a team that has more experience with FPSs, they will want to use that experience as their weapon. They want to use this experience as one of the ways to really catch off AEOSS Arise off guard, gather that information, punish any mistakes, wait for the first mistake, and that's exactly what Hashira is doing. A lot of patience, however, from AEOSS Arise, and they're not really giving anything to Hashira, but Hashira is still doing well enough to force the errors. That's going to be a lot of information given here, as Alexi will be holding onto the site. The lockdown will be deployed on top of it, but Japeeps making absolutely sure that nobody pushes through that wall.
But they haven't planted the spike though. Okay, right now, I think it's going down. Alright, finally, alright. After the wall went down, got the spike, they just try to push the angles and make sure that they get this post plan locked down. It is gonna be a 4-3. Japeeps starting to pop off.
Yeah, Japeeps is starting to feel hot, and she's taking a lot of good kills. I mean, she started the game off pretty strongly, and doesn't look like she has any intention of slowing down here. But I do want to point out, I actually like the discipline for Hashira to slow down and wait for that plant to go off. They didn't plant it because of the lockdown, waiting for a push maybe to come in. But Shirazi is able to actually get onto site somehow, manages to get a kill. But it's all mopped up and cleaned up here by Hashira. They look dominant here in this first half. And again, I'm going to go back to that point where there was a very good time that they went ahead and not planted the spike, because they know that if they planted the spike during that time, during that lockdown, they would be very vulnerable. Instead, what they do is they hold off, they go for pushes, they go for picks, and they try to catch a Rise off guard. And it does. It nets them a couple of kills, and that makes their life on the post plant that much easier.
Yeah, that was really smart of them. I think they're playing around time a lot better. Just over all the FSL opens, we see them adapt and change and really get that experience. And just looking, every time we watch them, they look better and better and better. And if they win this, of course, they will be going to Elite. So we're gonna have to see if they make it. But for now, already got one pick off on the side of Hashira. But just as we say that, Alexi on that pistol and gets a free upgrade.
Yeah, so, there are a couple of weird kills here and there that should never happen, but that's going to be another one of those kills that shouldn't be happening here. But they do manage to secure a lot of map control, and now the mistakes are starting to pile on. AEOSS Arise, they've managed to sniff out a lot of Hashira's play and what they do. And they go and they start, instead of playing defensive, they go and push further. They try to make Hashira make a couple of mistakes. Capricious has just walked straight past Japeeps. But Japeeps is all too aware of the possibility. Now still a 2v3. And the spike is in a very, very dangerous spot. Very hard to get this back. And Japeeps not going to win that duel against Shirazi. And with that crossfire set up here, Alexi finding a triple kill. Winning a thrifty round is a very, very good sign for AEOSS Arise.
Very good indeed. This is really what we wanted to see. Like, Hashira, yes, they're great, they're experienced, but you got to remember they also dropped a map to Wildfire Sphinx yesterday, and even those that they won were pretty close. It was, 13 to 10? It wasn't like 13 to a single-digit number. So really, the thing to take away from that is that, when you're Wildfire Sphinx or AEOSS Arise, maybe you don't have as much experience, but when you do something unexpected and you catch these teams off guard, that's where maybe you can win the round, and that's exactly what they did. They basically cornered and pushed Hashira back to their spot.
Yeah. It's 5 players still alive and 5 ultimates available for both of these teams here. They're going to be working their way towards that C area. And you know what? Hashira, they lost that previous round by playing a little bit too slow. I feel like this time they might do well to start and, upping the tempo a little bit. They're getting caught off here. And for the second
but they
time,
don't have their controller.
Yeah, you're right. And this is the second time that Ali's actually gotten that kill from that position. Hashira really need to start checking that corner.
Are they going to be committing to C though? Everyone's gathered there already. They know smoke from the defense just expired, so Kachao could create some space for her team. They are going to be pushing in, but operator shot connects.
One enemy remaining.
Good swing out right there. Ali is able to back up her teammate, and Alexi was with a triple kill. After winning that thrifty round, it just let them have enough economy to actually pick up an operator and just rain hellfire down onto that C-long area. Now, what I want to see from Hashira, got to be a change of pace here. They already started to get figured out. Their default just not working out for them. They're getting taken down in corners. It's not a strength for Hashira. It's just not. And this kind of playstyle, it's not going to work out for, I'd say better teams like, Alter Ego Celeste. Playing slow like this, sure, it's fine sometimes. But they're going to get punished like this time and time again if they don't have a very good plan on top of it. So now they're going to maybe try to change things up a little bit. They're going to stack most of everybody towards this C site. And Alexi is going to be there to receive them here with his operator.
You see Kachao going in and create space for her team, which she does. The good thing is Plucky is still alive, so those smokes have been really integral for them winning these rounds, and ultimates have been committed. Kachao already ready there with the knives. It's still a 5v5 though, and the spike already went down.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of 5v5 retakes here in this game. Hashira allowed to get onto site so many times, but at the same time, AEOSS Arise happy to give up the sites. Now, with this lockdown, it's going to buy a little bit more time here for Hashira. And now, that from the shadows, the scout out information will be cancelled. Kachao missing that right click onto AEOSS. Japip there to pick up the pieces. Now, it's still, however, 4v4 as they have managed to find trade after trade. Alexi working from the back, but Japips and Key are too strong for now. No more time, and Japips basically seals the deal with that triple kill right here. Capricious from long range, unable to get that last shot as Japips with a 4K. Stylishly going down with the boat as the spike detonates all around her. 7-4.
Hashira still get that round, but yeah, a lot of bloodbath because, as we pointed out, it was a 5v5. And the good thing about Hashira, they do love their two duelist comps. So sometimes we see Kachao going in, making space, not always connecting with the headshots, but the good thing is there is always Japeeps to pick up the pieces. And this particular map, Japeeps has been performing really well.
They have been performing quite well, and Alexi has just been really the bane in the existence here for Hashira. So many times that they get the first pick off of her, but now Kachao right there to respond in this op versus op duel. Kachao sees the top of the head, not enough to land the shot. Capricious falls back knowing that her position is being watched, and this is going to allow Hashira a little bit of room to breathe now that they know that the operator is out of her hands.
Plant the spike.
They might want to go to B, which is the first time that we're seeing this. Especially with the op, it really gives them a lot of control.
Yeah, they managed to work their way, to wiggle their way towards B. They haven't really found their way up. Getting a spray down through that smoke, manages to find Key. So does AEOSS, and they're just all over the place right now as Plucky is the last person left standing. Not a lot of luck towards this B site Hashira have found. And so instead,
Definitely not.
it's going to be Plucky in this 1v4. Has 4 heads to claim. And with a double swing out like that, just can't get a single one. AEOSS managed to make it an interesting half, 7-5, after what looked to be a very rocky start.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, nothing to be ashamed about. 5 and 7, especially when you think that Hashira has a lot more experience. We expected the score to be a little bit more in Hashira's way, but AEOSS is putting up a great fight, and I really like the adaptations coming out for both teams. I mean, Hashira, you know, the reason why they went to B, it is something new. They haven't tried it before. They're trying to adapt to the game because they managed to get it off on A and C. They're just trying to make AEOSS guess, right, all the time where they are trying to find a new plant position. They didn't quite get it, but it's nice to see both of these teams trying to adapt to each other.
They are making the necessary adjustments. You know, like you pointed out, they are making the right thing. Especially AEOSS. They learned that, well, not quickly, but they eventually did adapt after a play style.
Yeah.
It really did. In the back now, the 3-man push towards A here. Minji going down, the bow in her hands, but from the flank, Kachao's right there. Will they expect everybody else to come in here? B. It's going to be the site of contention here. The spike will go down. And now, Kachao looking to be the first person in, first point of contact. Smoke will be deployed, but only temporarily as Capricious gets that kill onto Key. Now, still with a 3v4, they have a lot of ground to cover, a lot of room. But it's going to be Shirazi from up on above to actually get one pick off. Has to drop down, now Plucky refrags. But it's still 2 players left with low HP onto the Hashira side. Things are looking grim. Pulls out the knife at the worst time. Oh, just very unfortunate right there. They're going to have to push through, and it's not going to happen. Shirazi with a triple kill cleanup on this pistol.
We were just saying, you know, you gotta adapt, you gotta do something different, and then suddenly you look at the mini-map, all of the defenders were in the attacker spot, and all of Hashira were basically behind them. But the thing about that is that AEOSS knew exactly where they were. They knew that 5 had crept up on them. So if you notice, all of AEOSS were looking the same way. They knew that, you know, no one was gonna come from the flank. So Hashira, yes, they're trying something different. Didn't quite work out, but the idea was there.
Yeah, they were a couple of good ideas on the board, but eventually Hashira just got out-timed. The run towards that B was definitely the counterplay. That a little bit of fortune here for AEOSS. And so Hashira,
doing the same thing.
they're going to try the same thing yet again here. The alarm bot is going to spot out 1, but will they know that there are 4 right behind this wall? Kachao And Kalias, okay, Japeeps to find the kill, and that's going to be an upgraded weapon here for Japeeps. And the spike will be again planted towards B. And this is one more, a little bit of a mulligan, a retake, if you will, of that previous round.
Hashira already doing something different here. Oh, but they're all going to window.
Oh, and they're all just going to
my
get mowed down
goodness.
right here. But as I say, that Japeeps, still no heal for her anymore. Doesn't have any more charges. And so it's going to be another kill for Japeeps. 3 kills on that eco round. 3 kills. So it's a great run for Hashira. But AEOSS Arise, they managed to hang on and get us leveled 7-7.
You're getting 3 kills on the side of Hashira, getting a free upgrade for the Spectre just to pinch off AEOSS a little bit more. But still, you know, Hashira first they come from the back, everyone goes to window, and then they attack B. And then this time, yeah, they do the same thing, they go from the back, but it looks like they sent everyone to window on the other side, which is quite curious, right? They just got mowed down right there. But hey, it is a rifle round now. I expect that they won't be doing the same thing, because they now have the guns.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit more slower pace for both teams.
They will use the range on Hashira's side to their advantage. But now, my question is, will AEOSS Arise have the buy that they want coming into this? They lost 3 members, so it's going to be tough. I already saw a couple of Spectres on the other side now. So
yeah.
it's, and actually, no, more than that, they've forced a couple of members from AEOSS Arise to already buy a couple of Vandals.
Yeah, so 7-7, it's very tense. Both teams know that every round here is going to count. And so just playing very slow. AEOSS, we saw them rush B twice.
Yeah.
And Hashira did give up the site to them because Hashira chose to stab them from the back. This time around, might be looking for an A because he rotated from C. Looks like utility is gonna come out, but the first pick onto Kachao.
Dropping there. I believe that taken by Hashira. Excuse me, by AEOSS Arise, and that should be completely taken over.
Plucky's in a good spot though. She's there in elbow, but oh, just as I see it, I got picked off. Couldn't quite wrap around. Wanted to surprise AEOSS from the back. It's gonna be a 5v3.
And that's going to be Minji with an opening frag, but the crossfire too strong right now. Can Japeeps do it? Can Japeeps hold on? That's going to be another kill. Is able to heal herself up, overheal just in case. But in 1v2, she's able to line up yet again another 3 kills, looking for 4. The spike is planted just under heaven here. We'll tap. And oh, she hasn't found the answer right now to this nano swarm. So time will definitely not be in her favor. Can she get it to even half? She does get it to half. Doesn't line up the following shot, but good endeavor right there from Japeeps. We'll lose the rifle round, however, and Hashira will sequester the lead right now. AEOSS Arise, they managed to take it 8-7, and they're looking pretty not too shabby at the moment.
Yeah, but I feel like they didn't, they shouldn't have allowed Japeeps to do that. They knew where she was coming from. And they just stuck to their positions, gave her the peek. You know, she basically took everyone out one by one. That's why she made it really close in the end. But the post-plant mollies was timed just right. You know, one after the other managed to give them the spike to go off. And again, they've now find themselves in a lead against the more experienced Hashira.
They have, and it's a great start for AEOSS Arise. It's a good sign, especially on a map where Hashira is so comfortable. AEOSS Arise have definitely proven to us that they have got the moxie to stick it to Hashira right now, and they're going to be making a call to go towards C. They do spot out one player, only one, with a Sheriff, and so that's going to allow them a little bit more comfortability. Just go straight onto that site itself. Now they managed to secure it, but it's going to be yet again a 5v5 retake. We've been seeing these all game long here, and this is no exception.
Yeah, teams have been giving up the site, but Capricares as well as Alexi making space for their team, and Hashira a little bit on an eco here.
It's going to be a great set of kills.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing really, honestly, there's really not much that Hashira could have done there.
They could have done.
There was, honestly, quite a bit of a utility gap in that situation in a 5v5 retake on C with not a lot of weaponry and barely any utility. Hashira just happy to bite the bullet on that one. And apologies, ladies and gents. Apparently, we are experiencing technical issues, not just on on my side as well. So if I am cutting out, do bear with me. But we do have two rounds that separate two of these teams, and the next gun round is Nai. Kachao on that operator already. See where she goes ahead and takes a look. It's going to be towards that A site, but nobody there to receive.
But Japeep's already pushing out on C, so they know that AEOSS are not there. And utility being dropped into B. Japeep's is coming from behind though. They're gonna allow them to get that plant. So far, wow, beautiful headshots from Shirazi. Can she get another? Yes, she does. It's gonna be suddenly, it's a 2-on-2, even though Japeep's looked like she was coming from behind.
Yeah, this round suddenly is turned on its head as the last remaining members here of Hashira will be going towards that A site for, AEOSS Arise.
But suddenly it's a 2-on-2. It looked really good for AEOSS at first.
Drop the spike.
But the operator did take some of the members out, and ultimate going to be committed. And yeah, it looks like the call is C is clear. So they're really making Hashira run around the map trying to guess where they're gonna plant the spike because it hasn't gone down. It's 20 seconds.
Yeah, they now know that Japeeps is in the area though, so there's gonna be backup being waited for here by Hashira. Japeeps calling her teammate just to make it sure that nobody is in the area. That lockdown is gonna slow them down even more. As Japeeps trying to get a little bit lucky here. Try to go for that spray down, but will eventually reposition. Now they head towards that C long area. And in this 2v2 retake,
oh, and Japeep's going in with the ultimate, but the double swing from AEOSS managed to secure that round. I mean, just want to point out, yes, Hashira may like this map, but AEOSS is the one who selected it. They are 100% win rate. They played this twice in the tournament history of their team, and they won both. And it looks like when it comes to these clutch rounds, when the score is getting closer, AEOSS is the one who is pulling away, and they look just that much more comfortable, especially on attack, right? We don't see this coming out from Hashira, where AEOSS really made them guess by not planting the spike at all, whether it was B or whether it was A or whether it was C. So really great adaptations coming out here from the side of AEOSS. Hashira on the defense. Still a 5v5 so far, start of the round. But Kachao already committing to those knives.
that is being brought about here by AEOSS Arise, and
Spike planted.
for now it really looks like they've managed to dominate the map here, 10-7.
Oh yeah, and Kachao going in, finds the headshot on those knives. Japeeps as well, popping off, but it is going to be 1v3. And yeah, finally Hashira managed to get their post plants going. Finds the headshots, commits some ultimates to it, but it's pretty good. That's what really they needed. It's 10-7. Now it'll be 10-8. And it was a thrifty round as well. That's why knives were being thrown. But yeah, we see both of the duelists and Japeeps as well as Kachao. We talked about this, right? Kachao needs time to warm up. And the moment that, I don't know, maybe round 12 onwards, she starts to get going. And that's where really we start seeing these heroic plays. And it looks like Shadow might still be having some difficulties. But yeah, Alexi there with the operator. Looking into C, so they don't really know where the op is just yet, but Kachao, very aggressive peek out there in the courtyard, manages to get one. Alexi still gonna be scoping but not finding anyone so far. It is gonna be a 4v5.
Yeah, and oh, looks like I think I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. You're
I
back,
think I'm back.
Shadow.
All right, but Alexi opening it up with a kill onto Minji. It's gonna allow them that side here. 4v4 lockdown available for Hashira, should they require it. That's going to be it deployed right now as AEOSS finds that kill onto Plucky all the way from the back. Now they have to deal with the flank, but they can't. Kachao even going down to AEOSS. Lockdown being absolutely destroyed right now by the Hunter's Fury. And that's going to be 2v4. Could be a save call already. Wouldn't blame them if they did go for it.
Sure, 2 members left. It looked good on them at first, especially after the pick there in Courtyard, but the way that AEOSS work the map is really very good. They feel so comfortable here on Haven. Peeps once again. Oh, connects the first headshot. Spray's coming out here in window, but she's probably just gonna have to save. Can't really quite make that work. It's really hard for her to push into C there alone. Hashira, economy is struggling. You can feel like they're also trying to figure out, how do we deal with this AEOSS attack? Because AEOSS has been making them run around. They keep making Hashira guess. And really, that's the signature of what Haven is all about, especially when you have 3 sites. It is also very much attack favorite. So AEOSS is pulling away here after the switch.
I think I'm back now.
Yes, you're back again.
Again, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm here to bother you, but this is looking like it's a little bit better right now. We've changed up a couple of things, okay? And I think we're back in business. So, currently, from what we see, it's AEOSS Arise now working that angle here. Kachao on the operator. Gonna try to take a shot, not gonna connect. Now on the other side, the operators.
Jet op battle.
Not really gonna land anything for now, but it is still a really big advantage for AEOSS Arise. They're 2 rounds away from winning this first map in this best of 5 series. A very big deal, I feel like. And this is a really an important map here for Hashira because, just going into Ascent next, I don't favor their odds. But Kachao looking to open up the round here. Good pick off from her. Rotates towards Garage. Shirazi's there to make the punish happen. A little bit of an overpeak. Once again, we brought to a 4v4.
Ooh, Alexi has knives as well as the op. But again, we see AEOSS. I like the communication they have here. They never really quite commit to a site. Sometimes they do, right? So they're always changing it up, and depending on what information they get. Very nice star. Just gonna catch 3 out.
Down A.
Yeah, a good star is well placed. Very timely. Hunter's Fury gonna be used right now. That's not really gonna catch anyone off, but Japeep certainly will as she manages to work from the flank. That's gonna be a kill right now as they work their way onto site. Minji and Key to keep Hashira in the mix here. 11-9. And 2 rounds that separates these 2 teams, but 2 rounds is all AEOSS needs to win this victory.
Yeah, it's a good run from Hashira there. When Plucky, that star there in A, just caught everyone out. She pulled them in, got some shots off, and that's really the key thing that helped the team win that round. Bringing it up now 9-11. Very, very close. AEOSS is definitely trying to look for it. 2 more rounds. We're gonna see how they adapt once again because their communication has been really good. The moment they find out where someone is, they make the call and they always trade, which is really what's helping them here in these rounds. And change of pace once again.
I am okay. Okay, we're back. It's just a lot of technical issues that are happening. Apologies, ladies and gents, but it is what it is. Now, Hashira, 11-9. They are 2 rounds behind. Japeep's looking to be the linchpin for her team, managing to ensconce herself in this corner here.
She's been holding this angle for the last 2 rounds, so it's quite aggressive, but she hasn't really found a pick that she wanted to so far. And Kachao with the judge.
Yeah, but it's going to be a quick exit onto that C site. Kachao with the judge looking to make it happen yet again like yesterday, but no. We'll be denied by Shirazi as we go in towards that double shock dart lands. Okay, but AEOSS not going to go all the way down, only dropped to 45 HP, no way to heal. But still, in this 3v5, things are looking very grim for Hashira as they looking to take a loss already.
Yeah, it wasn't a full buy for them, so I think they're trying to make it work. But if they lose these rifles, it might be very painful in the next round for their economy.
And
Yeah, they all
mowed
dropped.
down.
Match point.
12-9 right now. AEOSS, wow, great showing. First time we're seeing them once again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed, a brand new team here in overtime. They're showing up and they're showing up big. I mean, Alexi on this jet. If you look at the stats, even just from the days before, she's been popping off. They love running this two duelist comp, and it really is working out for them.
They are now in a very tough situation. 3 rounds separates Hashira and AEOSS Arise, but only 1 round separates AEOSS Arise from that victory. And so, Japeeps will be here towards that B site. They've gotten 5 people here towards B. And it's going to be Kachao with the blades to open it up. She gets 1 kill. That's going to be definitely a help to her team for the meantime. There is a lurk that they do have to deal with in this close corner. Alexi sees 1 flashing out, but it's going to be key to clear her out, as well as Minji. Now, this is looking promising. 5v2. And we have all the members of Hashira alive. Not for long. This is going to be a good double from Kali S. To keep things interesting here, Hashira have 1 player left to find. Shirazi does get spotted out, knows that she's in C, but they have the spike. Hashira has the spike in their control. No reason to push any further. And so they're going to hold on to it rather and set up a crossfire.
Yeah, for the first time, we see Hashira pushing up the court, yeah, and it finally worked out for them. Normally we see it as Japeeps, but this time they did it as a team. Again, it's really the small adaptations, right? The way that they're reading AEOSS on these attacks didn't let them take over the site the second round. And it worked in their favor. So again, Hashira can never count them out. They're so resilient and have been, ever since we've seen them all in these opens, especially against Wildfire Sphinx yesterday. Even though it was close, they kept it. They kept the series, very, very tight. This is exactly what they're doing here once again.
Yeah, and this is a lifeline for Hashira right now. Just when you think it almost is over for them, just when you think it's so difficult, they manage to scrape away a victory. And they've actually forced AEOSS Arise onto a very low buy. I'm surprised they didn't actually eco on this one. But instead they go for the shoddy buy. Yeah, it's 1 round, but if they lose this one, I don't know how their economy is going to look. I think maybe a save would have been in order here for the attacking side, but it's going to be Kachao to make a lot of noise here alongside Japeeps. The spike is in a very, very tough spot, and this is actually already pretty interesting because Japeeps and Kachao, they're drawing a lot of fire, a lot of attention towards their plays right now. But instead, AEOSS, their response is to take A. They've sent 2 players out to actually take that A site, but the spike is not in their possession. Shirazi, she's going to get out with the spike right now. Kachao will dash through, but she knows that she has to take another fight because they've gotten that A site instead. But Alexi here might actually get the timing right. Plucky has gone up to heaven. And Plucky might not expect 2 players flanking her from the back. Oh, she's going to be in astral form.
Oh, no,
she's going to be in astral form.
Oh.
That's a massive
Feels
pick off.
bad, Ren.
It doesn't. Look how much map control they have already. It is basically Minji here. Has to be clearing out the back of this, and they're not going to be able to do it. Now it's all up to Kachao. AEOSS Arise. They take a victory, a very surprising one in this first game. In this best of 5.
They look so comfortable on Haven, and that last round for me, that was so 500 IQ because they drew fire at at C rather, and then they did a fake, right? So all the gunshots were coming out, they got a pick, but they didn't commit to the site. And in fact, the spike wasn't even, where they cleared it out, which is at A, and then they did a loop around. I mean, wow, just a 200 IQ, and they really do feel a lot more comfortable on this map looking at them. Japeeps did try her best. We know that she was popping off, but in the end, AEOSS, Alexi right here on that jet, had some really good operator shots as well. And Shirazi, keep your eyes on her because yesterday she also did great on Viper. And today on this Omen, showing up big for her team once again.
Indeed, look at that. Japip's leading the charge. Alexi shortly following after her. 24 kills on Alexi and has been such an amazing player in this entire game. 13 to 10 is where we find ourselves. Hashira have managed to make it close, but a little bit of an upset I think we've managed to see is AEOSS show that they are very much capable.
Absolutely, and unfortunately for Kachao, we were keeping our eyes on her, but she didn't really manage to pop off in the mid round. Maybe a couple of hero shots here and there, and using that blade storm, but not as consistent as we wanted to see from Hashira. But nonetheless, the attacks do look a little bit more shaky. And right here, I don't think their defense was necessarily bad, but it really was AEOSS who played the map so well. The three sides, the way they made them rotate, they look so good right here.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to sort out our technical issues right now. We're gonna go on to a little bit of a short break, I think, is the call. Once we get oh no, there we are. Hello, welcome back, our
Oh.
faces. So yeah, like I said, a great game, but overall Hashira coming up a little bit short there. And a little bit of an upset as AEOSS get closer and closer to qualifying for Elite. So we'll see whether this upset trend continues or whether Hashira will be able to pick themselves up in game number 2. Again, I'm Illustrato, this is Tanya May. We'll be back in just a second. Do not touch that browser. Welcome back, ladies and gents. You're joining us here yet again. Illustrato and Tanya May coming your way. We've got another game coming up for you. It is game number 2. And the first one didn't really go the way we expected it. Hashira taking a little bit of a loss in that one. Going into this map, you got to be a little bit more worried after what we just saw. Ascent is what's about to follow. And if there's any evidence of, looking at the history right there, Hashira and, Hashira and Ascent, like oil and water, basically.
Yeah, they dropped the first 6 rounds to Wildfire Sphinx yesterday on Ascent, and they also started on the attacking side. So it's quite curious that this entire series, Hashira is forced to be on attack, where sometimes, they do look a little bit more comfortable on defense yesterday. You just got to question, what kind of experience they've learned, what kind of lessons they've taken. And if you look at yesterday's game, I believe the only round that they started to win after that 6 losses was when they finally decided to take a timeout and then they decided to hit mid, right? The moment they got mid control, that's where things started to turn. They still lost the overall map though, but I expect that they're going to come in here with something different.
I agree. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a different story. Hashira looking like they've learned from their mistakes, and I think their Ascent game is definitely improving by leaps and bounds. So we'll see whether that comes true or not. We're about to get started into this game. Any expectations, any predictions, Tanya May? You think this is going to be a Hashira map?
Oh, we do want to see Hashira bring their experience here, especially since they've learned so much from Ascent. But looking at what happened yesterday and coming in here, AEOSS with that momentum, as I said, it's overtime. We have not seen AEOSS, neither has Hashira, so nobody knows what they can bring. And when they surprised, they really did surprise them on Haven. And I really feel like it has become a 50-50.
Yeah, I agree. It's very much up in the air right now, and basically a toss-up for me. I think it's very difficult to say who exactly is going to come out on top of this one. Hashira, they looked so good yesterday, sparkling form, but today it's looking like a little bit like it's not the same. I don't know exactly what's going on there. We'll have to probably find out and have a chat with the players, but it does seem that Hashira not feeling like their usual selves. I didn't see a lot of that explosive play that we saw from Hashira yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of it was the slow, especially on their attacking side, a lot of it was like the slow play on the attacking, and then when they went on defense, then they started attacking. I don't know. It was a little weird.
Yeah, they pushed out on defense, and then on attack they were slow, but then suddenly their opponents read them. So it's very interesting as well. Valorant, you don't have that much time to talk about strategy. And on the side of AEOSS, you don't really know what they bring, but they do have a lot of Hashira VODs, which I think might have come in handy here. And going into Ascent, it is Hashira's choice. And we have here the agent select. Hashira once again relying on Plucky on that controller. She has been showing up really big on Astra. The timing on those stars even on the first map was pretty good. But AEOSS as well, starting to see something new, also going to bring out Astra on this map.
Let's see whether the side of AEOSS arrives. Can they keep their momentum going here? They've been very good at shutting down Hashira, and they've actually managed to expose a lot of the defensive weaknesses on Hashira. So this is a very, very good sign from them. I also love their logo. Like, this is maybe my favorite logo.
But the logo doesn't match their name though, so I'm always very confused. I think we saw the word anonymous, but then they're called AEOSS, so I don't know.
Like, I like their logo, man, because like it's like those old timey baseball kind of patches that you'd have, and you know, very reminiscent of 1950s American style diners. I like it. It's a cool design.
It is cool, and the team also has been looking very cool. It looks so good on Haven. They really made Hashira run around the map, and we're gonna have to see. It is Ascent, so it's no longer 3 sites, it's 2. How are they going to adapt in this one? Oh, I like it. Hashira already going to take mid control. This is exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, very much different from what we saw earlier, but still it's going to be shut down here as AEOSS gets that kill onto Blocky. That's the second one. Alexi right there to mop it up as it only leaves Minji all alone. Minji, nice headshot though. Nice second. That's the reload. Going to get pushed here, but they punished her for it. And they pay the price here. Suddenly it's brought to a 1v3, 1v2. But Shirazi from the flank will clean things up. Nice triple kill right there from Minji. But still, it's AEOSS Arise to win the round.
Yeah, it looked good from Hashira at first. We can see the adaptation coming out. They did not do this for 6 rounds yesterday. The idea was there, but it felt like a little bit rushed. I think they weren't really checking the corners. They didn't expect AEOSS to push out in those smokes and coming from the different angles in mid. So got a bit punished, but it was a good attempt and a good idea. We want to see this more from Hashira, especially in the later rounds.
Oh, indeed. But now the push again coming from Hashira is very similar to the previous one that we saw. It's straight down towards mid here. And they're going to go all the way towards spawn. And now towards A, but they're going to simply get cleaned up here. The spray down through the smoke will find one, and Alexi will find the second here. Plucky manages to get 1 kill. And yet again, it's Minji all alone with a ghost in her hands. Unable to get anything. It's triple kill from Alexi. A little bit of a boost towards her economy coming into the later stages, and Bulldog is going to be paying for itself very, very shortly. 600 creds goes her way, and that's going to help her later on, as well as get closer to that Blade Storm.
Yeah, Hashira has a lot of guts. You gotta give them that, right? We saw this in Haven as well. They lost the first round on pistols, and then they eco, and everyone just goes together. You know, you win together, you die together.
And the money right now, it's still not great actually for AEOSS Arise, even because you know their agents are pretty expensive. So what's gonna happen instead is they're gonna actually leave one player onto that ghost. So that ghost could be a very crucial factor coming into this one. So let's take a quick peek here. Now it's map control yet again here for Hashira as they wanted to slow it down once more. They managed to sneak their way towards short here, but there are quite a few players here, and as well as an alarm bot to stand in their way. Minji will get spotted out, but Minji actually catches off Shirazi looking the wrong way. The hit towards A side looking very much possible and very doable here for Hashira. The shock darts not going to land onto 2, but it's going to be enough to damage a little bit here. Alexi looking to swing out. They know where Plucky is, and Plucky's just going to win anyway. Upgrade for that. Spectre will be in a Vandal now. Will be turned into a Vandal here, but Chow is able to get that kill onto Alexi, and it looks like things are going all as planned here for the Hashira side in this 4v2. They still have to deal with 2 remaining players. That's AEOSS, and they certainly will want to make things expensive, but it looks like they're falling off for now.
For now, it's a good post-plant position for Hashira. They did something different. So instead of rushing down mid, they slowly push into A, got one peek off. Oh, yeah. Looks like they're just gonna clean up this round very easily. Minji there, a couple of nice headshots ever since the start.
Last player standing.
And alright, I did not expect that in last round. I just got stunned. Oh my god.
That was a little bit weird. That's 3 players that died to the spike.
Yeah, and if you look at the shields now, they can't fall by.
I mean, he's on a... What?
What? Oh,
Okay, that
no.
was... Might be a technical issue that we just saw there.
But yeah, I just gonna have to live with the half shields on two of their players. Not too bad. Still got the round. But AEOSS, thinking about that full buy, Alexi has Blade Storm, so she doesn't need a rifle. And she has been popping off. She's the one that's been really creating a lot of space for her team. Looks like players are gonna just get this technical issues sorted out. But yeah, it's looking a little bit better for Hashira. Really like the way that they changed things up, especially since they just played this map yesterday. And they're approaching it like completely differently, right? Taking the lessons that they've learned.
I think so, and that's really one of the things that Hashira is, good at doing. They're able to correct their mistakes. I mean, we haven't really seen them play on Haven very much, so maybe it's not a surprise that maybe AEOSS are just that much better on Haven. Maybe that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But here on Ascent, signs of Hashira improving on it are very evident and very clear.
Have to give props to Japeeps, their in-game leader. You can see all the little adaptations coming out. And the pace again, going in slow. This is where Hashira got rounds on Haven. And we might see a repeat of that here in Ascent.
Well, they're going with the same strategy. It won last round. Why not do it again? And yet again, they catch off Shirazi looking the wrong way, but this time the gravity well. Ready for it here as Kachao looking to go for that entry. She still has to deal with that annoying turret. But Kachao gets that pick off onto Alexi, who was looking to go up and above with those blades here. Now Plucky's still alive for the meantime. They're going to leave her here towards this area. They know that it's a possibility that she gets checked into that short corner like last time, and so instead she is going to be holding somewhere else. 4v3, sorry, excuse me, 3v3 right now as quick trades happen. Both Spectres are gone. Callie has to find Key, and that's going to be from below. Kachao lining up one, pulls out a pistol. It's all she can get. Now it's a 1v2 here. Plucky does not have the position. She does have some information. The shock dart lands nicely on her feet, but with 20 HP, she can't get the last kill. It's going to be a triple here for Callie-S, and AEOSS Arise will once more reset Hashira.
Oof, that was close. But Plucky there, you can see the importance of stars coming out on this Ascent. And sometimes we don't even know who stars is whose because they're just all over the map. But a very well-timed gravity wall there at Garden. I think AEOSS is starting to read Hashira. I mean, this is the second time that Hashira did that. And this time, AEOSS didn't let them. So
yeah, Hashira does this thing where okay, if it works, let's do it
let's do it again. Yeah.
Exactly the same way we did it last round, and that might actually not be such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because the teams are much more prepared for it, and I don't know.
Well, they're not doing the same thing because they attacked Garden twice. It didn't work out. So, all right. Slow push to mid control. Now, this is where they got rounds yesterday against Wildfire Sphinx. So we want to see them push out mid and get control really at B main, mid, wherever they decide to push it. Really, they need to get some picks off in mid and get that control down. Looks like they are going to take market right here, but they have to be careful.
Oh, quick pick off right there. Kachao going down, but it's two trades. Minji and Japeeps, they chime in. Japeeps is able to upgrade her weapon. It's a 3v3 right now. Alexi holding very passive, making sure no one crosses at the right time. But Shirazi looks to clear out market. Will get spotted out by Plucky. Now Plucky's in trouble as she gets peeked from both angles here as 2v3. It's up to Key. Has a lockdown. They're not gonna falter. They're gonna deploy their own lockdown. Two lockdowns now being deployed. And it's the Sheriff. Not gonna get that kill, but Japeeps will get one. And with both lockdowns being deployed, not a lot of time, not enough. But it's still, again, another round for AEOSS Arise, and was an expensive one nonetheless.
Wow. AEOSS running away with this game. It is surprising. I mean, we really thought Hashira would bring something different on attack, and they are. It's just that the execution is not there, right? You can see that they do want mid control, but even though they push up to market, you know, what happens after that? You know, the steps after that is not very clear. They're getting picked off by Alexi, and then now with the operator as well, that they have to deal with. It's not looking too good for them.
Yeah, definitely not. But still, Hashira have enough money in the bank to once again buy.
Kelly S has the Odin.
Indeed.
But same idea again. Alright, so Hashira gonna try this.
Alron's gonna spot out one, and Alexi's gonna be happy to take a couple of pop shots off. I wonder if she knows how close she was actually to finding Japeeps right there. Repeat from Alexi. Spots out Japeeps and gets a nice kill as she falls back.
Yeah, and Alexi on this operator, she really has been showing up so big for her team. She's also been really sharp. And they tried to flush out the operator and they did, but they lose one as a result. And Kelly with that Odin.
I do feel like Hashira has to do a little bit better checking corners.
Yeah.
They have been getting caught off with those corners quite a lot here. And this is another one of those corners that they won't check. Fortunately, they win the duel, but they won't win the trade as Kelly S, like you said, with the Odin. This proves to be so difficult right now.
Clucky's on site, but she doesn't have the
30 seconds left.
spike. Because it is being held by that op, and it's a really tough call for her.
They have to make a move, man. They got 20 seconds. Lucky spots the shoulder. Poppy wins the duel.
Oh.
Lucky's got to go for more. 15 seconds left. Minji has given up her position. And in this 1v2, I think
10
it's time
seconds
for a
left.
save call.
Yeah. She's probably just gonna stand here and save. No reason to peek the op whatsoever. Don't go near the spike, but it does mean it is gonna be 5-1. And Hashira, do you think that they're just trying to make Ascent work all the time? And even though, you know, there we go, right? Timeout being called. This is where they found themselves yesterday as well. They did lose the first 6 rounds, but this is 5-1, right? It's not really that any better. Kind of curious, like what's going through your minds.
I think right now all they want to do is calm down and figure out what exactly is the next plan, because right now they're looking pretty stumped, if you ask me. They don't
Yeah.
seem to have any answers to the defense of AEOSS, as they've been getting shut down consistently with aside from corners. It's also just the operator just being so difficult for them.
Yeah, things are looking tough for Hashira. Same map, different team. So they did manage to get quite a lot of rounds back against Wildfire Sphinx yesterday. Not too sure about how they're going to adapt here against AEOSS, because that operator at Alexi, as Marquis likes to say, she does have the hot hands right now. You can feel it, right? Sometimes you just watch players can feel like, yeah, she's in the zone, you know? And it really is her pulling her whole team with her, rising them up. It is AEOSS a rise. And wow, really unexpected as well. I mean, really wanted more from Hashira. We might just get this after the technical timeout.
Yeah, we're hoping so, but right now they're looking pretty broke here. And Alexi, oh my god, the lineup from Capricious, the follow-up, the Hunter's Fury, Hashira just left rock all up to Japeeps, and she gets taken down by a shorty.
That's got to hurt. That really has got to hurt. I mean, they got the utility right. You can see that Alexi could not get any shots off. They blocked off the operator, but everyone else from AEOSS was there to respond. So tough for Hashira right now. Really, the mental game is what is going to matter. I mean, especially like after they got a timeout and then losing like that in what, less than 15 seconds? That has got to hurt.
Now they can get a chance to buy here, but they're already 5 rounds down. Things are looking pretty dire here for Hashira. If they lose this map, it's gonna have to be a reverse sweep. Alexi, don't you do it. Oh my god, Alexi! What on earth was that?
She's so unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, she has an AWP, and how would you even expect that?
Exactly.
But look at this. Oh, Hashira right now, they're looking like they got onto that A site. Can they hold on to it? They've been in a lot of hot water before, but this time they look like they're in a pretty decent spot post-plan. They have Kachao working towards the back here, towards this short angle. They know where she is. Kachao will win a 1 duel, but will not be able to find Alexi for now. 30 HP, pulls out the shorty, knows she's being chased, shows her who's the better pistol player. With 4 HP, Alexi survives. The Odin's able to get 1, but with 4 HP, it's going to be tough for Alexi for certain. She finds yet again 1 more kill, but they know that the Hunter's Fury is coming out. They know. It's just the shock dart. That's all that's required here.
Wow, but oh my goodness, Hashira finally gets that round, but it was so close. It ended up in a 1v1. Very nice lineups, of course, just to secure it, but Lexi, I mean, you know she has an AWP, and then she comes out of her own smoke with a shorty, gets 1, goes back into her own smoke, and then you don't know, you're right, she also has blades. She even used blades that round, so she just comes at you from every angle possible, and it's so hard to play against her.
Covering it.
There is 2 players here holding with a. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Judge Kachao. Judge onto Kachao. She's gonna try to refrag onto Japeeps, but doesn't look like she's gonna be able to get through right now. We'll be able to upgrade because Minji swings wide, taking down Alexi all the way from that A main area. We'll be able to upgrade her weapon, but the push will be slowed down. They will get the spike down regardless, and H site has been proven to be a little bit vulnerable. Kachao shooting her teammate because she thought it was an enemy for a second.
Happens, right? It happens.
Enemy down.
Yeah, good adjustment onto Kalias as well, falling away just in time. She gets detained, sure, but it's still a 2v3, and in this retake, it's quite possible. There is a Hunter's Fury still saved up, and there is a pretty decent amount of... Oh no, this is looking tough here. Minji in the open, getting mowed down once more by AEOSS, and they're looking very solid here.
Yeah, I think this round is once again, reading on Hashira. Hashira knew that they got the spike down the last round, and as you said, right, they love doing things again until it's broken, I guess. So they just repeated it, but again, AEOSS was like, we have a Molly there at Garden. They were much more prepared for the attack from Hashira, and they really stalked them out and got the kills that they needed to open up the site on their post plan. So right, so Hashira, alright, so that didn't work. Now they are changing things up again, going here onto B. No one really going to go to mid. It's got the blades. I think they had to eco as well.
Okay, Blades of Storm. The Blade Storm.
Blades of Storm.
Blades of Storm. No, it's gonna be the. Okay, recompose. Minji with a shock dart is able to get 1, but Capricious from the backside is able to hold the line. She gets a double. Still, Minji up and running here. Kachao with a pistol, unable to find the kill. 1v3 yet again, all alone. And Minji, what a quick adjustment! Look at that. Gets Alexi within the smoke. Will be sucked in by the gravity well, though it's still enough to find a 1v1. 4 kills, looking for ace. Can it be the ace around here for Minji? The recon dart comes out, and it's gonna be the swing up for Minji. She doesn't get it. The ace eludes her once more, but Shirazi is able to get that defuse in. 8-3, 8-2.
These rounds, it's 8-2, but they were so close, and somehow we think it won't end up in a 1v1, but it always does. And Minji is on fire with these headshots. I mean, she really is trying to clutch it out for her team, but the question for Hashira is, how many more rounds are you gonna try and rely on Minji to clutch it out? They need more members to start stepping up, and you can see that Kachao is really trying to create space, and she just goes in. She does her best, but doesn't always get the pick-off that she wants to. So end up like everyone's having their own duos, and Hashira is just not winning them. They do have guns now, so it's going to be a different story. They might be doing the same garden push that they have been quite successful on.
Spike down mid.
But already a pick there from the operator.
Yeah, Alexi gets that kill, and that's gonna put put a pin in the plans here of Hashira. They once more tried to approach A site, and it's looking like a little bit of a flat offense for now. Kachao does get through, but she will be spotted out yet again by Alexi, and Hashira really, they just don't know how to deal with this defense from AEOSS Arise, and Alexi landing 3. That's a 3rd kill for Alexi right now. Uh-oh, that's a little bit awkward. Pulls out, but misses a couple
really
of the
is.
blades. It's all up to Key. And Key goes. And Key gets flanked. That was, took a second.
Yeah,
Round
yeah,
in the
it did.
half.
And Alexi there just wanting to go in with that shorty again. Oh my goodness. Hashira, it really feels like they're falling apart. We do know that they have a lot of mental resistance, you know, they've been able to get back up on their feet. Especially on this map, we just saw that yesterday, but it doesn't seem like they are finding it today. AEOSS, wonderful performance here on Alexi. That operator found 3, and Hashira just didn't know what to do after that. And again, see, round after round, trying something different, right? So you gotta give them credit for that. They are trying to work their way around this, but that op just keeps finding them.
Yeah, Hashira looked very much pressed to deal with this, and Japeeps is trying to work here towards B main, hoping to catch off a flank player. Alexi does have a rifle in her hand, so 3 fires coming in. Japeeps is able to win that duel, so pretty good from her, especially that she has healed up herself. Will not expect the flank, but the wall saves her life.
Yeah, the wall saved. Oh.
It doesn't
Shirazi
matter, she
gets
gets
her.
cleared out anyway. Now, it's still gonna be 2v2 lockdown available for AEOSS Arise, and it's going to be
One enemy remaining.
forcing the members of Hashira out into the open, and Shirazi gets another triple kill. Where is this coming from? AEOSS Arise. They are putting on a show for all of us and leaving Hashira completely stumped.
I mean, the wall was great, and it did save Japeeps just there, but I think it was the lockdown that forced Hashira to
Switching
come out,
sides.
right? They couldn't stay behind the wall, and the timing on these are just so good. I mean, Shirazi here with the correct star placement, and well, she didn't even really need them because everyone walked out beyond the wall. They needed to get the lockdown because they knew they were stuck there right at Boathouse. Wow, AEOSS is really on fire and really not what we expected. I mean, to be fair, right, we didn't know what to expect, and I don't think neither did Hashira.
There is still 5 members of Hashira that, I mean, sorry, no, not 5. There is still, I think, 3 members of Hashira that are sitting below 10 kills. I'm gonna double check on this. But still, you know, just Hashira, they're unable to get the kills that they normally do, and they're not really playing like themselves. They're not really playing like their playstyle, because it seems like they're getting caught with everything at the moment. Whether it's a push towards mid, whether it's a push towards A. Fortunately, they'll be switching sides right now, and this might be a little bit of a breath of respite here for Hashira. But in Ascent, once more, they do look a little bit lost.
Yeah, and this is their map pick. So, very curious, right? We would say, hey, Hashira chose this map that they lost on yesterday. Is this a good idea? And so far, it hasn't quite been. But might be a different story now that they're on defense. Sure, maybe they couldn't get off the attack very well, not as coordinated as they really were yesterday. But defense might tell a completely different story. Both teams very slow, very quiet, not even a single tick, but here we go.
Yeah,
AEOSS pushing an A.
it's Key who does go down eventually.
Spike planted.
Low HP, however, on AEOSS, but it won't matter right now as the heals do come through, and that's a triple kill from Capricious. Very
One
precise at the moment. Will be caught off and even gets the kill onto Plucky. A little bit of a strange whiff right there. I don't know. It looks a little bit...
Wow.
It looks a little bit discombobulated. This is not the Hashira that we are, we
Yeah.
saw playing yesterday.
Wow. But then it begs the question, right? Is it really Hashira not performing as well as they did yesterday, or really is it AEOSS who has just come in here? They flip the tables, they open a new chapter. You don't know what they're gonna throw at you, and if away, right? If you look at it from Hashira's point of view, it's a brand new opponent, and they can't seem to get a read on AEOSS because they are quite unpredictable.
Spike down A.
Oh, it's another
pick from
spray down here
Kachao.
from Kachao. Good opening pick to use that one-way two for advantage. You're going to try to find even more right now as Japeep's right there with a trade-off. Still a 3v3. Plucky is smoked off in this corner. Alexi's able to find Minji all the way towards back. And now it's going to be Plucky holding this angle. Will spot one out. Can't land the shots. It's going to be Alexi.
Planted.
Prevailed yet again, and now it's all Key. All up to Key. Oh, she misses that crucial shot now as well. And Alexi just shows her how it's done.
playing with her
Alexi just
food.
shows her how it's done. Just pulls out
Yeah.
her own. You guys are like, yeah, this is how you do
Match
it.
point.
A very nice spray control from Alexi. On that Spectre, you can see, she's dodging all those shots, but also controlling her spray just to get the kill and playing around in that very last one. Wow, AEOSS. It's kind of sad for Hashira because it looks like they are going to maybe not come back from this, and it does gonna mean that they are gonna be down 0-2.
Now they've got Kachao opening that side up. Traded up. Japeeps goes down as well, but Kachao with two before she drops. Now it's going to be Kiki in this very, very dire spot here. AEOSS Rise, they're so convincing with these victories, man. It's like 12-2 right now, and this is, again, Hashira just not playing. They just don't appear to be on the server right now. It's a little bit strange to see.
Sometimes they don't appear to be on the same page
One
because
enemy
Kachao and
remaining.
Japeep, the idea that they're trying to get picks for their team. But AEOSS has been really good
Remaining.
at trading, and Minji again with the 1v1.
Manages to get herself onto site, but now her position is known, going for that reload and pulls out the knife, but still wins the duel up against Ali. And suddenly a breath of fresh air for Hashira. It may not mean much right now, it's because it's still 12-3. But what a
Wow.
great clutch for Minji as she holds on for dear life. Hanging alongside her is Hashira.
I thought that she wasn't gonna win it because she was jumping around, they knew exactly where she was. But she manages to get the peek and the headshot, and wow. Again, she's actually on the top of the board. This is not the Hashira that we know. I mean, it's so odd to see Minji at the top with 15 and 11. Meanwhile, Japeeps and Kachao hasn't really found their footing here on Ascent, and Plucky also not having a good game.
Revealing area.
Shot nut. So pace again gonna be slow because AEOSS is one round away. It's gonna be a bit more
Yeah.
controlled here, and the thing is, right, even if you get one person off on AEOSS, there's still Alexi to deal with. So even though Hashira, they managed to 4v5 a lot in these opening rounds, but they haven't been winning them.
They have not at all. Honestly, it took a miracle of a play for Hashira to actually win that very last round. Right now. And these aggressive pushes like that, they're just getting snuffed out. Shirazi's so aware of this.
Wow, she's so sharp today.
Last player standing.
Oh,
1v4, and
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I can feel the sadness in your voice, Shadow.
Yeah, it's just I'm just sad because this is definitely not what we expected to see here today.
Absolutely not. Wow, Hashira. The last time we saw them go down 0-2, they lost the best of 3 series against Renatus White. And they have since come back up. I mean, we have seen them grow so much. They have a lot of adaptations, but here against a team that we haven't really seen before, and you look at their Minji at the top, 265 ACS, 15 and 12. And she's 15 and 12 because she tried to clutch out a lot of these rounds. She was getting, what, 3K at the end of it, but not being able to secure the round for her team because no one else is up there, right, with her.
Yeah, well, let's move on and go on and to talk about the performance here. Alexi again with an amazing, run. So many 3-kill rounds from her, the 3 first bloods, but just the operator once more just making life so difficult for Hashira. And yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the game here. We're gonna go into game number 3. 3 games is what Hashira need to win in a row. It has to be a reverse sweep if Hashira wants to win against AEOSS Rise. But we are definitely seeing a little bit of an upset here. AEOSS Rise, they're impressing everybody with how well they're playing right here, and it's very much. I don't know. We haven't really seen much of them before, and I'm just wondering why the hell not? Because they're a pretty solid team. But anyway. I'm going to take a little bit of a short break here. We do have to go into one. When we do return, game number 3 will be coming your way. Again, it's Illustrado and Tanya May. Now going to be taking a break. When we do come back, it's going to be game 3, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys. Valorant Game Changers, and it's me, Illustrado, and Tanya May coming your way. We've got... I'm going to make that your new tagline now. Tanya May
Coming your way.
No.
It's a nice rhyme. Thank you.
It got, there's a nice ring to it. But yeah, you know what doesn't have a nice ring to it? Hashira on a 0-2. They're being absolutely bodied right now by AEOSS Rise, and it's a little bit concerning. I do have to point out AEOSS Rise, they're playing really, really good Valorant, very clean Valorant right now. Not so much on the other side. I don't know if it's a focus issue or whether it's nerves, but Hashira, it's not playing like they normally
Not
do.
at all. Not at all. They look really off, especially on Ascent. I think the first series, you can tell, they still had it. So I guess the question for them is, being down 0-2, where is their mental game going to be at? Because they are at map point, and it is tough, especially after that performance on Ascent, where things just got so chaotic, and you can tell they weren't exactly working as a team. Corners weren't checked, a lot of mistakes were made. So you gotta wonder, where their mental is at, because they have to pull through for yet another one. It might be their last.
Yeah, this is very much the last chance to do it. If they take a loss here, it might be just all over for Hashira. But even if Hashira if they take a loss here, they still get to go down to the lower bracket, and they get another chance at going to Elite. So they're gonna get another chance tomorrow to make up for what happened. But still, they wanna win now. They wanna win now.
Yeah, especially being in the upper bracket and having a really solid performance yesterday against Wildfire Sphinx, and just seeing them grow, right? Every time we see them, we see Hashira level up. This is actually the first time that we haven't, which is, I think, you are stumped and I am stumped and everyone watching as well. We just don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you either. It's really just a little bit of a mess here all across the board. But I am happy to see a new team stepping up and showing us. It's very refreshing, a lot of great teams coming out of the woodwork. We had AEOSS Rise play a little bit before, but really not so much is known about them just yet. But the fact that they're playing so well today is definitely a sign that we got to keep an eye on this team.
Absolutely. And I'm actually really excited about Icebox because I went to take a look at what went down yesterday. They actually only played Icebox on Haven in their last 2 rounds. And get this, all right, we saw a little bit of a sparkle from Shiraizi just now, but really on Icebox, she was actually the top frag and the top ACS on 2 times, right, in 2 different series. So I expect that going into this map 3, she is the one that's going to shine.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it is another, I think it's Icebox that we're going into. Yeah, so what are you thinking here? Icebox for me, I feel like Hashira, you're usually fairly good on the big maps, but from what I've seen, it's just like Icebox is also a map. Here's the caveat, right? Icebox is also a map that really rewards good aim, long-range duels, and consistent team play. That's what we've been seeing from AEOSS Rise.
Yes.
Not so much here from Hashira. I'm thinking this actually could be a 3-0.
Yeah, I think we're all feeling it, but Icebox is always the 50-50, especially because of the verticality, which could give Hashira a very good chance. I mean, they are very experienced on this map, but I think it is AEOSS who actually chose this, especially since they have a 100% win rate from the last 2 rounds, and Shirazi has been stepping up on Viper on Icebox, so I'm actually very excited to finally see it. You know, we didn't get to see it because they weren't streamed, but this time around,
Yeah.
I expect a lot from her going into Icebox. And looks like we're just going to jump into Agent Select to see whether she really does lock that one in. And right there, in the middle of your screen, Shirazi on Viper.
Pretty much a very standard meta composition right now that we're seeing here for AEOSS Rise. Nothing that crazy. Pretty meta compositions actually for both of these squads.
Yeah.
We might be getting a mirror match yet again.
I think both
And-
of these teams also are running the exact same compositions that they run on Icebox. Hashira do like that duelist on Japeeps as well as Kachao. Same thing, Reina and Jet and everyone there just to support them. I mean, Minji had a really good game on Ascent, like even though things fell apart, but you know, she was trying out to clutch out some of the rounds, and here she is on Viper. So wanting to see, especially for Icebox, you know, really is this agent's map, and can Minji translate her performance from Ascent to Icebox?
All right, so mirror match. You make a great point there, Tanya May, but look, it's all gonna go down to the duels here. If Hashira, they just need to. Look, I'll say it straight. Man.
You're so frustrated with Hashira. It's funny.
Wait. I have an important point to make.
Okay,
This is what Hashira needs to do. First of all, they need to hit their shots.
Okay.
Second of all, they need to check
hit
their
shots.
corners.
Okay.
And third, they need to start playing a little bit more as a team. Because I am not seeing that Hashira that we know and love. I'm seeing AEOSS Rise just capitalize on every single mistake. I don't know.
That's you took one from the textbook, yeah? So 3 steps, really easy. You know, just gotta do them out in succession. But it will be Hashira on attack first, because this entire series, each team has chosen such in a way where we are always going to see Hashira open on attack. And
Yeah.
immediately, a little bit slower. So we really want to see whether their mental game is affected or not. But so far, Minji here trying to get some mid control. They haven't really quite committed to any of the sites. And they do know that Viper has set up on B though.
Hashira don't care. Hashira doesn't care. They're just gonna walk straight towards B. Whatever. They're just gonna go straight towards B and hope for the best. Okay. Look, if this play works, it might just give them the confidence that they need, and this might just be very, very crucial for them. So they actually get the spike off. It's a good sign here for Hashira. But AEOSS Rise, they've got 5 men. And I always say this. I say this every time this happens towards B. You cannot hold a 5v5 retake on B. You need to get a pick. Because the retake is just going to be so doable. You know, Hashira, they need a pick as soon as possible. They get one, and they get a couple follow-ups here. All right, this is looking very decent here for Hashira, because AEOSS Rise are now in a 1v3, and thank God. All right, because this is Hashira right now. They've found a little bit more confidence.
Yeah.
They've decided to set everything aside. Okay, you know what? We're gonna close our eyes. We're gonna go, not close our eyes, but they're gonna go to B, hope for the best.
Don't close your
and
eyes, please. Yeah.
not close your eyes. Don't close your eyes in a game. That's not a good idea. And try their best to hit those shots and get the advantage. And that's what I like to see. They know, because they know, and I've stressed this so many times. You cannot go into B and expect to win a 5v5 retake.
Especially
so they
since
know this.
everyone is clumped up in yellow, and that's really where teams start to fall, right? Because you don't really have that many angles. Sure, you get the plant down, you get Viper's wall and Sage wall, but they are going to change it up. They're going to go onto A this time.
Yeah, a little bit more decisive here, and that's going to be a really good entry towards that side. Capricious with the shorty, not able to find anything, but he does It's going to be Plucky. Work the back angles here alongside her team. Japeeps will be propped up on top of that wall, and that's going to net them another kill. 4 players still standing. They're going to hunt onto Shirazi, who should be just around this corner. Shots being popped off, and the double swing out should be enough to keep the triple kill. Hashira showing signs of...
Better.
Yeah, they're showing signs. Okay.
Well, they're gonna have to use this momentum really if they want to stay in the game, because they have to win this map, right, to stay in the best of 5 series. And so far, so good. Yeah, gonna have to keep their specters, and in the meantime, AEOSS gonna pick up those rifles after they save, but some of them do have that half shields because utility is pretty pricey nowadays. We're gonna have to see whether AEOSS managed to come back from this.
They do find a way to make a beeline here towards that B site, but even with the rifles, it's Hashira now to come back, and like I said, they gotta hit their shots, and they certainly are doing that. But ooh, the tap from Alexi catches off one. Ali follows it up with another, and suddenly it's a 2v3 Hashira. This looked like their round.
Yeah.
But they dropped 2 very, very big kills. Now they got to deal with Capricious coming up from the back. Gets the timing onto Plucky. Doesn't land the shot though. Now Ali's right there with a shock dart, and that should soften him up for a second. But Ali with a great follow-up onto Plucky gets a triple kill. Ali once more for AEOSS.
Yeah, AEOSS just knew. Are you
They
calling
did.
them AEOSS?
Because they also have AEOSS in their name.
That's
you know?
true. That's true. And they also have
Like, one player
anonymous
is,
in their logo.
Yeah,
So-
like if you press tab, you'll actually see one player has AEOSS, so sometimes it gets a little bit confusing.
But they knew where they were. It was a good adaptation. They came from behind, which is why I think Hashira just wasn't prepared for that. But spotting out 2 there just before yellow, I mean, they have full information. AEOSS made it work. Finally, they are on the board 1 and 2. So really, it's for Hashira, not to crumble, because this is what happened the last time on the set.
They did. But this wall is a little bit of a weird wall. It actually allows Kalias a little bit of a window to shoot.
Oh.
Ooh. That what?
Wow!
What?
Oh! Wow!
Through the smoke, she finds the fadeaway tap. Okay. I don't know. That's kind of nuts, bro. But like Plucky following that with a kill onto Shirazi. Okay, it's still a 4v3 here, but AEOSS Arise, they are hitting some nutty shots.
Enemy down.
Nice timing on Plucky there. Does make it a 3v3, so it's very winnable on the side of Hashira. They also have time. And Japeeps cutting down the numbers once again.
Oh no,
Spike
Ali
down,
just
B.
waiting. Oh, that's the spike gone. You would... They thought it was clear because Plucky cleared out the site, but they didn't expect for Ali to be pushed
30
up onto
seconds
this
left.
corner right now. And Ali's just being a nuisance. She's just hiding. Just buying time here. And oh no. Oh god, she finds another one. How does she find another? How does she find a third from the box through the wall? And Ali, one more time. We're gonna be saying it, I feel like, all day long. Hashira, they don't clear the corners. They needed to have cleared them together.
They could have double swung there just to clear that corner, but gotta say, Ellie, that spray control was really good as well, and she's the one that's stepping up for her team. But Alexi, that's what we see there. Operator is online.
Standing ahead.
It's gonna be a tough one for Hashira, especially since they have to equal using that round.
Oh, who knows? You know, sometimes they do well on the eco, sometimes even better, but it doesn't look like it as they're all in the blender. And where they go. Key, the only one here. She gets one, but it's going to be a classic to finish for all. And Hashira. They are once again being thrown into the wood meat grinder.
Why do they keep doing that though? Like, every time it's eco, they really just live and die by the blade.
It's like, you know what? Let's get it over with. Let's just rush and shoot them down.
But they.
I mean that with the look, Tanya May. It works if you hit your shots, and it works if you're winning the duels. But they're not.
Yeah.
You know that works when you know that you can win the trades. But right now, AEOSS Arise, they're not letting them win a single trade. Kachao spotting one out, tries to go for that headshot angle peek. And in desperate times, Kachao is the one who normally Hashira can rely on. Hasn't found an opportunity just yet, though.
Nice shot from Peeps. This does make it a 4v5. And a little bit of adaptation coming on here. We saw Sage wall, right, at the ramp last round, but this time
Yeah, we
it's
did.
at A. I feel like AEOSS just knew and they're reading Hashira, so it is buying quite a lot of time, but wall is going to expire. And Hashira are actually backing out of A, so rotations coming in. You might look to go for B. And Kachao again trying to create space. She manages
Nice
to do
pick
it.
right there.
Nice one, yeah.
She has now information that the Viper's right behind her. Right behind you. Right behind Kachao. Oh no, looking the wrong way. She misses, but she hits the second blade. And that allows her to get back on the tube. Like I said, man, Kachao, a lot of the times you can rely on her when the time is needed. And they get the spike off. 4v2 retake. Only Capricious left alongside Cali S. But they have just been dominant. They've been winning every duel. Plucky has a res should it be needed, but I don't think they're going to go for it right now.
Last player standing.
That should be the nail in the coffin right there. That pick up onto Japeeps, onto Capricious right there. And Hashira have managed to find an equalizer. Brought us back to a tie. Things are looking this much more potent for Hashira as they have once again found a lifeline into this game, into the series.
Yeah, they might make this actually a very competitive map. I think that's really what we're all hoping for. And we're starting to see them come together, right? It's 3-3. They look a lot better now on the attack compared to the last two maps. They've been quite shaky on attack. Not even just today, but really yesterday as well, as I was mentioning. They lost the first 4 rounds in their first map on Split. They lost the first 6 rounds on Ascent, right? So this is already a lot better. They're tying it up. They just need to get the momentum going. And I think Kachao, we have not seen much from her today. On Haven, on Ascent, she hasn't really shown her stuff. And this might be the start of that.
That's a quick entry here by Kachao. And she's going to be trying to... Oh, misses the jump. That's okay. That's all right. It happens. Now we go towards that A site here. 5, full send. Full send, and they're using all of their forces. First just landing a shot, landing a double, getting away. And unpunished. The little gap is more than enough for her. She finds more than she needs. As Minji unable to get that trade off, Kachao does. Alexi finds another. And Alexi missing the right click, missing it again. Kachao finds the kill. 1v3, and it's all Capricious all day long. But she finds another triple kill here. Hashira gets shut down and reset once more.
I think Hashira was baited by the safety of the 2 Viper walls going up, right? That's why they didn't look left and they got caught out by Capricious up there on that vertical. They gave them a false sense of security. That's why Plucky just went in, thought she could get the wall off and just plant. But even with those Viper walls, there could be gaps, and just wasn't prepared for that.
It's another reset here. The economy on Hashira not very good. AEOSS Arise, they have all they need and more. Kachao looking to entry, gets on above yellow. She'll be spotted out, brought down to 48 HP. And the Hunter's Fury will come in as well, just to slow them down even more. They need to find a push. Japeep's looking for that pick. Japeep's pushing through, and in an awkward situation, she somehow manages to emerge alive. Japeep will finally end up going down. It's the members of AEOSS, and they are dominating this server. A jump peek from Alexi.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, Minji. Again, this looks like the previous round where they feel safe, right, behind the Viper's wall. But they all commit onto B without taking mid control. And it's not like it's not that they're missing shots, it's just that they're caught off guard by AEOSS. And it's like, how many times is this going to happen? Because we saw that in the last 2 rounds, and they really have to play around this Viper wall a lot better and expect that their opponents are going to push out and not just, you know, have that assurance to just go in for the plan and they just get punished so hard.
It's 5-3 right now, the scoreline, and that's another reset. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Hashira are only on pistols.
Yeah, we
A
see
bit of
there.
technical issue. You know, these teams, they really want to finish the series. AEOSS Arise, they really want to finish this as
know,
soon as
right?
possible, don't they? They want to get it done. They want to take this 3-0. I'm a little bit surprised by this.
And as you said, you know, where have they been? I think they did show up in FSL Open 5. I believe they did make it to the playoffs, but we just haven't seen them on stream. Yeah, I mean, they're all from the Philippines as well, so it is a local battle, you know, between these two teams. And Shirazi actually has been a new player, hasn't joined FSL before. She's been a great addition, you know. Very, very controlled on this Viper. We saw her show up on Omen as well in the last 2 maps. It was curious to see, you know, whenever a controller starts to pop off and instead of your duelist, you say something.
And you know who's a great addition as well. We do have a new player also switching in from AEOSS Arise. You know, they have Capricious, who is from Fuma.
Revealing area.
And Capricious has been putting up the numbers a lot. Oh, look at this. She even gets close. Dismisses away. Where is the punish? No punish. The punish is in the form of Kachao and Key barreling their way onto site. They actually even get Alexi with a shorty, getting a little bit too confident in that one. The spike is still very much far away, but the site is now in the position of Hashira, so things are looking a little bit decent here. The res is available from AEOSS Arise. I don't think that they can get it off, but we'll see right now as it looks like Key will be trying to push closer. Has a Spectre. Japeeps, great shot onto Ali there. 2v3 right now. They could go for that res. It's very possible towards the backside, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for it right now. Both ultimates are available, the Viper's Pit as well. So this retake is very much in the books here. If they can at least get one pick off. If they can at least get one, then they could probably do something about it. However, Kachao too quick on the trigger, and so will be Key. As Key will find the finishing touch on that round. 5-4 as Hashira keep it interesting for now.
Yeah, they do. Finally, we thought that AEOSS would get away with it. You know, we felt like they had the momentum, but Kachao picking up that operator. It looks like it's gonna make a difference, but Alexi has enough to buy one of her own. I think they played that a little bit better, but it was still very curious where they pushed into A and just didn't check the corner. And Capricious on the Reyna managed to get that pick, and again, Hashira with those mistakes, you know, not really what we want to see from them, but so far they are scraping through. And Viper's Pit already being committed there at A just to push them away. I don't expect Hashira to go into that one. You know, it's bad news to go into that Viper's Pit, but we will be funneling here into it.
Yeah, they try to make a beeline towards that B site. Hashira, they got weaponry. They got to deal with Capricious, though, who's holding towards the back. Yellow still hasn't made her presence known. Could be massive, and they don't check her. They don't check her yet again, and it's the corners once more for Hashira that they have not managed to find. Alexi with the operator from up on above has managed to make things yet again go in the favor of AEOSS Arise. So Kachao will have an opportunity to do something here. They have the rifles, Hunter's Fury being deployed in the act of desperation. They need to find something. They need to find a pick. They can't do it. They get her low. Alexi 4 HP. as she's holding the very top of this. Spots the leg. It's all she needs. No, it's not. It's Minji who comes out on top, but it's traded out by Capricious. Will dismiss, get information back away. 4v2. There is still a res available. And in this 5v and in this 4v1 now, it's Key all alone, and it's Callie to close it out. And yet again, AEOSS managed to capitalize.
How did they not check that corner again? Capricious.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Back of yellow is one of literally the most important angles you have to check, and there is a very clear disconnect with what's happening with Hashira right now. You know, they can win. Sure, okay, I pointed out 3 things at the very start of this game. 1, they have to hit their shots. 2, they have to check their corners. And 3, they have to play as a team. They've gotten down 1 now. Now 1, they are hitting their shots. But I'm still not seeing them check their corners, and I'm still not seeing them really play as a unit.
And Capricious also reading them so well. It's like a replay, but first she said A, and then she said B, and then she realized, well, they're not checking their corners. I'm just gonna be shooting at the back of their heads. But Ka-Chao wins out the duel right there against Alexi.
Yeah, and you know, again, the duels, it comes down to the duels. The duels are coming out. Capricious is looking for even more, and I think he's going to be able to spot out one. No, Ka-Chao does. That's the res gone. Viper's Pit deployed. And now, it's Capricious here. She's got a little bit of an opportunity, but it's Hashira with the breath of respite as they can now breathe in the poison of Viper.
Oh,
they're happy to do it for now.
Okay, she can't fit through the hole.
Yes, she can. For a second, maybe.
Yeah.
But this actually might work in her favor.
Yes, it does.
That's gonna be the Viper's Pit gone already, so it's a big misplay. No more Viper's Pit, no more way to heal up. It's Key who brings it back, and it's Ali and who goes down. Japeeps and Key, they bring it back by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Hashira have found a 5th round up against Israel. So a lot of mistakes also now being made by AEOSS.
Yeah. Almost got it out there. We thought that, you know, after that pick on the Viper and the pit went down, maybe Capricious could have pulled off something there, but time was ticking, the bomb was ticking, they just didn't have much time to play with and they just had to go. But Hashira, keeping it very close.
So they're gonna go and straight up try to hit A. I mean,
because
it worked
the
out
last
previously.
time, right?
Yeah, you know, like it's the same. They did it in the previous game. You know what? If it works once, we'll do it again and again until it doesn't work.
But being a bit slower, they don't have Viper's Pit this time, so it's a little bit of a different story. And we have what, Sage, yeah, lurking at B. So both teams also not giving that much information just yet. I think they both know how crucial winning this round is because it'll pull you 2 away from the other. But using the verticals, Japeeps, you're in a good position.
I don't know about this retake here from Arise. I don't think it's a good idea. I think they should be trying to take fight, and exactly that's what happens. Hashira, like I said, they're winning their duels, and it's really working out in their favor. So this was a little bit of a misplay, I think, for AEOSS Arise. And Hashira, they're happy to capitalize on it. Callie, yes. What a nice shot onto Minji. Key is there for a refrag. Now, they do have a res, but it's not going to come into play as Shirazi will go down shortly. 6-6 halftime score. Hashira fighting back.
Incredible round. As you said, you know, the retakes are really tough. I mean, this is Icebox, especially when they go to A. Not a lot of space to play with, and wanted to see AEOSS do a little bit different. I mean, they have been pushing out, you know, the last 2 maps. They had their confidence going. They do push out on defense. It's not unheard of, but in this first round, Icebox, they look a bit different as well. And Hashira maybe finding their footing, looking more about like the Hashira that we know. So signs of life here, and it's still anyone's game though. It's still 6-6. It's still 50-50.
Yeah. It is, but this is very concerning though. It's so tight. Now we have a ball game, okay? Yeah. Now we have a game on our hands. Okay. I think Hashira happy to wipe the slate clean. First 2 games didn't happen.
Oh, nice shot by Key there.
He's able to create an opening here, but there's an opening as well for AEOSS Arise as they find themselves on towards that B side. Japeeps gets Shirazi, and that's a lot of that mid presence now being dealt with. They still have to find 4 members, excuse me. Hashira has 4 still up, but Capricious is
player
making it
standing.
into 3. Kachao and Kiki, they're ready for it. They're turning things into 1v3. Okay, Plucky gets the final kill, and this is looking that much better. Finally, for the first time, Hashira take the lead.
Finally, indeed. We just wonder how long they can, like, how much more do they have in them, right? Because it's been so close, still 50-50. I want to give credit to Capricious though. Like, she's always looking for that flank and the off angles, and she always manages to get a pick. She manages to trade. I think she is on the top of the leaderboard from her team right now. It's the one popping off. Not so much Alexi on this map, and we also wanted to see more of Shirazi because historically, her Viper here has been pretty good, but it looks like Hashira are feeling it out. AEOSS look a little bit more lost here on Icebox, which is a bit unexpected because they won their 2 rounds on Icebox against 2 different teams yesterday. So I would say Hashira is bringing it, and we want to see more of that.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm hoping that Hashira can keep up this trend. They are finding a little bit of a footing.
Oh, no footing there.
I'm not gonna laugh at that.
Yeah,
it happens. It happens. Okay, but Minji, just around the corner. She's gonna get snuffed out here by Shirazi, who finds her. Japeeps will go from on up and above with a pixel to work with. She finds a headshot. Beautiful shot right there. That's exactly what they need to find. Japeeps working those angles, but Capricious is even better for now as Japeeps. And Capricious, the Reynas, it's Capricious to find 2. Almost finding a 3rd here. And Capricious, still alive, buys a lot of time. And this one is he and Ali. Standoff between the both of these players here. Time is ticking away.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, and they pinch. They make the pinch happen. They make the pinch happen, but they miss the shot. Oh, and they're just dancing around each other. Oh, here we go. Carousel of Doom. And it's Ali. Ali loses the duel. Doesn't matter. Doesn't care. They win the round anyway.
Yeah, the point is they win the round. And it's quite curious, right? Like, why is Capricious the lurker? She's a duelist, but she's been making it work for her team. Always finding that off angles going to mid. 19 and 9. I mean, no one else is above 10 kills on the board on the side of AEOSS.
Look at 19!
Yeah, 19.
What the hell?
Oh, but it can't be all on Capricious. Like, it's looking very dicey. Still 50-50 going through every round. It's trading 1-for-1 all the time. So again, AEOSS trying something different. They might attack A this time. They got the plan on B on that eco round. They're gonna have the Spectres here in their hands as well. Let's see how they make it work, but already chipped
Good
down
shot.
to 24.
Yeah, it's a nice shot, but they're going to be able to heal her up.
For you.
Healing coming up.
So,
Healing.
so mid control might be the name of the game here. See them inching, but not giving away that much information just yet. They know where Viper is set up. Key. The timing is gonna be down to timing right here because all the crosshairs are lined up. It's gonna be seeing who peeks who first.
Alexi is just creeping her way. She actually might find the right timing here because look at how things are situated. They're playing very, very passive. Oh, the barrel of the gun! The barrel of the gun! Oh, you thought that would have been enough here, but AEOSS, they've gotten onto site. Chow, looking for a lucky tap, looking for a lucky tag. Can't find it. Alexi, who does yet again, but from the back, Capricious once more finds the timing on the key, trying to spray down Minji, looking the wrong way. And it's a flawless round from AEOSS once more. Ay.
That was so unlucky for Kachao. She spotted out the shoulder there. And
Yeah.
it looks like they both realized that they were both looking at each other in the eye on the second floor, and then it was like, oh, oops, awkward timings. But AEOSS was so patient, like really, like a lot of these rounds here, we don't even hear anything, right? We don't hear a single shot, we don't hear any utility, and the moment that the Viper wall went down from Shirazi, they went in. And they managed to get it down. Incredible. still keeping it tight, 8 and 7. Lexi here.
She's really having trouble landing on top of that.
Yeah, I know.
The yellow box is there,
Yellow
but
box.
she'll get it. But okay, Minji, she was punished in this corner before, so a little bit might do a little bit better to stay away from it, and she does. 5v5 retake, and like I said, I do not like 5v5 retakes on B side. If you're the attacking side, the retakes are so doable here. Very, very likely that there is a retake that's going to be happening. A successful one. AEOSS though, missing that shot onto Alexi. It's a good shock dart as well. The res comes out, bring us to a 5v3. AEOSS, they managed to find a lifeline in this round, pushing out, pushing close, and it's Minji who gets the trade off, but still Kalias has done the damage, and that's Japeeps chime in with one, but it's a 1v3 with a Spectre. Oh, she's gonna get mowed down through that wall, and it is a 9-7. AEOSS arise once more, find an advantage on Hashira.
I think the rest there really tipped it in their favor. And also the wall coming up, you know, just to protect that res. Hashira maybe could have been a little bit more aggressive because they know that everyone was at yellow. They checked out the containers there. So they had information of where everyone was. It's just timing on these Viper walls, right? Whether it's your own or the opponent's, and that's what's really separating these two teams. Literally and you know, physically right there in the cave.
A little bit of a Hail Mary play coming up right here. It's not working because Hashira, they get taken down, they get slaughtered. And honestly, okay. Nice shot.
Right. Yeah.
Capricious was low anyway, but still, it's 2v3. Doable because the HP fairly low here.
Very
if they can find Ali, it's going to be a 2v2, and I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, absolutely doable. But rotations are going to come in. It's gonna be down to, I think, just raw gunfights. I don't think either side has that much utility anymore after that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So they're just gonna be trying to get lucky, find a head, try something. But you know, AEOSS, they're not giving him anything, nothing at all. Japeeps trying to get a headshot at Shirazi, and AEOSS, they're 3 rounds away from taking this upset victory.
Gosh.
A 3-0 sweep is what they're looking at against Hashira.
And yeah, you gotta call that timeout. It's close, and they really don't want to find themselves here. But I just, you know, every time Hashira goes into eco, it's like at least 3 players just go in for the hero play. You try to 3v2 or 3v1 and try to get off a pick with those pistols, but as we see here, you know, if they actually do play a little bit slower, it could go a lot better, right? Like, why just giving up and throwing themselves into the lawnmower?
Well, timeout now as Hashira rack their brains, try to figure out a way to get back into this game, because right now it's just not there. Maybe, you know what? I'm gonna say this straight out. It's a really off day, I think, not just for Hashira, but for a lot of people in esports right now. I think it's a weird, you know, I was talking to Viminal earlier, and he was like, is Mercury in retrograde or something? Because it's a weird day.
It is.
I think today's no exception. Because, you know, we started the day off with an amazing best of 5.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing a 3-0 sweep. I think things are just going topsy-turvy today. It's one of those days, you know? Anime.
Yeah, one of those days. But if it is someone's day, AEOSS is trying to make it their own because they are 3 rounds away from sweeping Hashira, which is unheard of. It's not what we signed up for. But here we are, and I have to say, AEOSS look a lot better on attack. And they have been, right? Just looking at what they played on Haven.
Yeah.
So Ascent, they just seem more coordinated, and they know how to lurk, especially and finding all those angles on attack, which I think is why they are winning a little bit more rounds here. And they like to keep Hashira guessing. They like to rotate.
Okay, Kachao with a great pickup right there. We'll find a kill. Oh, she misses. Oh, that's massive. If she manages to get up there, that could have been another one, but they punish her. They punish and they find a 4v2. AEOSS arise. They have the sight, they have the spike, they have another kill. and they have everything they need to take the series. They can get close to it. It's 11 points right now, 11 rounds for AEOSS Arise, and they have rocked everybody here at FSL.
That is so painful to watch, I have to say. Hashira called the timeout. They needed to get back the round right there. They needed to reset. They had to come back and at least tie it up, right? Try and push it, maybe even into overtime, but mistakes are coming out. It has been quite a series. It is a best of 5, not a best of 3. So, and they just played, 3 games yesterday. Might be coming up to them. Maybe, as you said, something's off. Everyone's maybe that much more tired, but AEOSS look fresh.
They do. And okay, Hashira going for an aggressive put, and it nets them a kill. It's a good start on the round here. No res available. Will they be able to get a res off if they have, or no, still not. But still, they're going to be heading towards B, and with a one-man disadvantage, it's not looking very good. Look at how fast the flank is coming in. You got 3 players cascading their way down towards mid right there. 5 players from Hashira, they're ready and waiting. That's the Viper's Pit just to make sure. But Capricious with a great shot landing onto Japeeps here. And from up close, it's going to be, oh my lord.
Gosh. Oh, that should not have gone her way, but Capricious is really on fire. She's the one being very, very sharp here for her team. And as I said, AEOSS like to rotate. They like to keep them guessing. And I think they rotate very well. Their timings on this.
Oh, and the Viper's Pit.
Yeah,
that just might be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a tough retake if I've ever seen one. A-side is hard enough to retake on its own, but with a Viper's Pit standing in your way, and Hashira, they have a Sova. They could use that. If there's a recon, there's an Aldro to help them scout. So that's some angles that they can clear right now, but
there is a gap.
There is a tiny gap here.
Kachao might find it onto Shirazi, but she's looking the wrong way.
Oh no! The timing doesn't go her way. Plucky gets that kill instead, though, so it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Now Plucky's trying to push. He's trying to get up close onto Ali. He gets taken down here, but it's still a 1v2. The snake bites are coming in. Oh, they don't have the time! They don't have the time!
Oh! Oh! It was Shadow. Really, we're being really lost for words because didn't expect Hashira to be in this position, and
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Actually, they knew she was there the moment that she got the kill onto Kachao, but they couldn't find her. They couldn't find Shirazi.
Oh, Shirazi has been, not just on this map, but whenever the camera pans onto her, you think she's not gonna get it, but she gets the swing, she gets the timing, right? As a controller, her timing has been so good. And even though Kachao has been getting one person picked off, but somehow AEOSS still wins the round.
Yeah. And that pick off, it's looking like it's the nail in the coffin. Res available for Hashira. Can they get it off? Capricious finds the pick onto Japeeps here. Turns around, swings wide as Capricious yet again. And Capricious might have the angle onto Plucky. Plucky still working from the back. 1v3. Is the Sentinel, has the res, but it's going to be massive shots he has to find. Not today. And it's going to be AEOSS Arise to bring us 3-0 against Hashira. They end the series early.
Can't believe it, but congratulations to AEOSS. I mean, we have so many new names, new players to take note of. Capricious, we knew that she was on fire this map, really stepping up for her team finally on this Reyna. 389, that's almost 400 combat score and 29 kills. I mean, the weight on her. And we could see she was so sharp, whether it was a flick, a swing, or 180 turn. I mean, she was just getting it off, and she walked into Viper's Pit as well and challenged the Viper and managed to take her down for her team. I mean, wow.
Big congratulations to AEOSS because they have just shown a very, very great look. 29 kills, jeez.
I know,
29
right?
kills, like Capricious. Unfortunately, Tanya May, Hashira just didn't come to play today. There are those days. There's bad days.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's just one of the days for Hashira, but still big congratulations to AEOSS. They go ahead. They go further. They win this best of 5. But for the Hashira fans at home, do not worry. They still have another chance tomorrow. And they're going to be playing in a best of 3 and then potentially a best of 5. It's going to be a long day for them.
Very long.
But they definitely have a chance. Any last thoughts before we go into the break and potentially to an interview, Tanya?
Well, I think it's great. Like we're seeing new faces, we're seeing new names, and all eyes on Alexi as well as Capricious, but not to mention Shirazi there. Wow, it feels good, even though it's kind of sad for Hashira and it wasn't their day, but it's also really nice to see a new team come up and we see new players get to shine. And, if they do, I think, do they make it to Elite after this? Or they still have
Uh,
to play another
Not
round?
100% sure. We'll have to check with production, but
Yeah, right.
we'll get the numbers for you.
Excited to see them, right? If they do manage to get in.
I'm very excited. Hoping to see more of AEOSS because they are a team that is looking very formidable. So good luck and have fun to them tomorrow. On Hashira's side, they still have a little bit of a gauntlet to pass through. And unfortunately, it's time for us to sign off. So again, I'm Ilstrado, and on behalf of Tanya May and the whole production team, I'm going to leave you in the hands of course, none other than the amazing Jenny Rarichu, who has an interview coming up with the winner. So yes, stay tuned in for that. FSL, we'll be back after this.
Hi guys, we're back with our second winner interview of the day, none other than Callies from AEOSS after their 3-0 victory versus fellow hometown Philippines team Hashira. Callies, how are you feeling after that series?
Actually, at first we were so nervous about it, and then we just play along and then talk to each other. We could just have fun because our enemy is our friends as well. So we'll just do what we can.
Yeah, did you girls expect to beat Hashira, much less a 3-0? Also, I think it was that map number 2, especially because map 1 on Haven was super close, and then map number 2, you guys just looked like you were so solid, you took it 13-3. So after map 2, did your nerves kind of settle down a bit? Did you girls think like, oh, you know what, we got this, we can do it? What was it like?
Yeah, you're right. So at first we didn't expect that we are going to 2-0 them at the first 2 maps, but then at the third map we are just too confident enough to like beat them all on the third map.
So we haven't been able to see much of your team in the FSL before today. So we know that your entire team is immortal, but to most of us who have watched the previous FSL Opens, it kind of feels a bit as if your team just came out of nowhere and suddenly today just absolutely steamrolled over Hashira. Can you tell us more about the background of the team and like what sort of experience the players have?
So actually, AEOSS Arise, before our team name was Dynasty Arise, so we also qualified as on the playoffs as well. I think that was on FSL 4, if I'm
4
not
or 5,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah. Or 3, I'm not sure, but yeah. but right now we changed our name, so we came up stronger. So I think we can beat the other teams as much as we can.
Can you tell us more about like the experience that you girls had before joining FSL? Like, did you girls maybe play CS:GO or play some other types of FPS tournaments together?
When I interviewed my teammates, most of them played CS:GO. Me as well. I played most FPS games such as PUBG, Apex, and CS:GO as well.
One thing I've got to ask, I think chat's been dropping a lot of questions about. Can you tell us more about Capricious? She's like the new fan favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
MJ. MJ is our newest member. I mean, second newest member. So she is a jolly person, and sometimes she like being depressed, but as a team we like motivate her all the time. But she got this aim and she got this moves as well, so that she can clutch it for our team. Yeah.
How often do you girls practice together as a team or like solo queue?
Yes.
What's it like?
Every day we have map talks, VOD reviews, and screams as well. Like almost every day.
Wow. So, as you were talking about earlier, previously, your team has made it to playoffs in some of the previous FSL Opens. I have to ask, was it always the team's goal to make it all the way to FSL Elite, or was it more of a we're going to join and we'll see how far we can go type of thing? What was the goal?
For now, our goal is to reach the FSL Elite, but we will do our best to like qualify for the next FSL Opens. But right now we were just having fun,
Uh
and
huh.
we will do our best.
Yeah, I mean, you've had fun at all
Yeah.
the way till qualifying into FSL Elite, which is just absolutely amazing. Moving forward, how do you think that the team will do versus some of the other teams that have already made it into FSL Elite, such as Alter Ego Celeste, Galaxy Racer, and Renatus White?
Um, it's gonna be hard for us.
Mhm.
Hearing those names, Galaxy Racer, Alter Ego Celeste, Renatus White, so they're so good. Um, we admire them first of all, and
Mhm.
then we'll just have fun again, I guess, and then do our best again. Yeah.
So, lastly, I wanted to talk a bit about, as you mentioned earlier, just having that good, friendly relationship with Hashira. You mentioned that you girls are good friends of them. Can you tell us more about this relationship? Because I'm sure chat noticed as well. We saw some comments earlier. We saw a lot of crouching after frags going on in the last series. So, are all the Philippines teams this close? Do you guys scrim together? Just tell us what it's like.
We just played together, but not scrims together.
Mhm.
Um, with this Hashira team, most of us are like very close to each other, such as Alexi and Japeeps and Kachao and me as well, and then Alexi and then the other teams.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel less nervous playing a team that you know, or does it kind of make you want to beat them even more?
For me myself, I'm nervous at first, but then my team is always motivating me, and we are motivating each other, so we kind of like think that we can beat them, even though we are friends with them.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you so much, Callies, for today's interview. Of course,
You're welcome.
huge
Yeah.
congratulations to
Thank you.
AEOSS Rise for qualifying to October's FSL Elite. That's going to be it for us for day number 3 of the Valorant Champions Tour Southeast Asian Series FSL Open Overtime, brought to you by our sponsor Intel and supported by our official media partner Yahoo. We're going to be back tomorrow to see which team takes the very last qualification spot into October's FSL Elite, joining Erica Aresta as well as AEOSS Arise. If you want to see how women in esports are changing the game, then we'll see you back here again tomorrow, same time, same place.